is netball related.
Was there an injury in your family netball related?
Yes, the younger sister had some bad news again. She did I think she got confirmed during the week, did the ACL, LCL and meniscus in the warm-up last week for netball. So I think she's called it quits, which is understandable. Poor little thing. Second or third, I think she's done now. So,
oh wow,
yeah.
Not good news. Well, good luck to her.
Thank you.
Thanks, Birchie. Yeah, Cam's sister Elise playing netball at Drysdale and warm up for Anzac Day against Port Arlington and has done the knee.
Shocking.
That's a massive blow. They haven't had a great run with injuries, the Delaney family. Between Luke, Tim, Cam and Elise over the journey, they've all had their fair share. They will have, Ronnie's probably had to foot some medical bills over the time.
King, I think Mott's waiting for your call.
We're ready to go. First quarter here at Birda Reserve, thanks to Geelong Bank and their 1-2 home loan. Gets underway. Here's Jason Doherty.
Yes, Zach Zybell for Colac is going to go against Ryan Abbott, our head-to-head this afternoon, thanks to Geelong Insurance Brokers. Zybell tried to do an Abbott and take it straight out of the ruck. Colac go forward and deep forward as well. Coming out Lang, who's starting down there for Colac. And McHugh was across. He got pushed away for Grovedale. And we're going to have a ball up about 35 metres around in the left forward pocket for Colac.
Jared McCormack did start forward, Jace, for Colac.
And he's down there, he's doing the ruck contest. They got it out back towards Deans for Grovedale. Goes towards centre wing. Zybell gets across there and takes the mark for Colac.
Handball off to Walters. A short little kick is okay. Finds a marking target. Monaghan goes short, and the lead comes from Simpkin Joffe, and he marks 40 out. Slightly left of Sandow, and a good start here for the Tigers on the cards if the veteran Joffe Simpkin can slot one.
Do we get our tips? Colac.
Yes.
Too busy
Colac.
talking to Cam Delaney. I think we're all tipping Colac.
Colac, I
Birchie.
believe.
Yep, Colac.
Laurie? Colac, 20 points. Thank you. Simpkin from 45 on its way. Got a good piece of it, and I reckon he's kicked it. He has. So first goal of the afternoon, Joffe Simpkin, the 99th at GFL senior level for the former Hawthorn Premiership player. And in this opening term of K-Rock football, it's 1 straight 6. The Tigers of Colac, no score. The Tigers of Grovedale.
A little bit of a luxury. Jay Simpkin just starting in the square at full forward and just popping out when he likes. Tough matchup too, I reckon. If you sort of see him sort of starting deep, you're like,
Lang.
Yeah,
in the forward line. It's not bad.
Get it in there quick. And that's what Zybell really tried to do, didn't he, from that very first opening?
Let him go to work.
Absolutely.
So back to the middle of Boodoo now. Abbott and Zybell again. Abbott gets it down this time. Parrish couldn't take it with him for Grovedale. He does break free though. Gets the handball back to a standing start. Abbott, they go towards half forward. Grovedale over the back of the pack. Lockie Simpkin couldn't take it. The 2 number 7s are across there. Harvey Morant it is for Grovedale. Runs out of room in front of the rooms here at Boodoo Reserve for Grovedale, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Jack Mellican's taken Baker in the forward half.
Wombat Gully Plant Farm, 201 Townsend Road in Moolap. Ball hurled back into play. Ferguson, Zybell, ball's allowed to hit the ground. It's going to be a free kick for a hold. And the umpire says Zach Zybell was being held onto in the ruck contest. Gives a handball off to Lockie Simpkin. He'll kick on his left towards the outer wing. It's a kick that comes off hands. Monaghan takes it, jams it on the boot for Colac, but he's only able to put it out of bounds on the full. And it'll be a free kick for Grovedale, Dale Kerr. In the long sleeves, which is his traditional football wear, whether it had been at Anglesey or here at Grovedale, comes inboard and finds McHugh. And the Bendigo product, who most recently played at Broadbeach in Queensland, wants the middle of the ground, and how, but he's overran the footy. Chance for Hewlin, fires a handball. Another handball forward was good from Lang. Now a chance at shot at goal. Tobin Murray has missed to the left. Through for a minor score. In fact, it was McLaughlin, I should say. And a minor score. And 117 is the score for Colac. Grovedale yet to score. Opening quarter on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Gone about 3 minutes.
Quick transition there, Kirsch.
Would have been a nice start for the young kid to pop that one through, but quick hands by Lang through the corridor. Simple turnover, nearly cost him.
Luke Ford, last Sunday's Anzac medalist.
Has the job on Jay Simpkin as well, Jace.
And he kicks it in. And he goes to the outer side half-back flank. Pack develops around Bailey Scott and a couple of others. Abbott standing there right next to Zybell. They're going to do the ruck work for their respective sides. Zybell gets it down. Back towards Morant coming out. Quick handball came. That was from Aaron Walters for Colac. Now ball still in there, forward 50. McCormack puts his head over the ball for the Country Tigers. Deans is there as well. Free kick found. Going to be dropping the ball, I think. And Grovedale are going to take the free kick in the last line of defence. Move this ball. Been predominantly going to the outer side, and they go there again with the kick. Parkhouse at the back just sits and waits for Colac. Ball to the front, and the visitors get through. Monahan gets it outside of the right boot, 35 metres out, top of the goal square, and he's kicked the goal. Lambie's Tavern goal of the day, contender from Ryan Monahan, running towards the left forward pocket. He just turned it around, right foot snap, and kicked the goal. Got some nice little support there as well in the goal square, a bit of a shepherd, and he put it through for his first and the second for Colac. 2-1-13, they lead Grovedale yet to score. Geelong Bank, K-Rock, first quarter scoreboard.
Daniel Fraser said that he wanted to try and, equal or win the contested ball, and at the moment, Colac are the ones who are winning contested ball, but on the counter-attack, beating them on the outside as well. So Grovedale are really going to have to tighten up in both those areas, particularly the contested ball where they wanted to win this game of footy.
Ben McCarthy might have the job on Deans in some way, shape or form for Wombat Gully Plant Farm. Abbott climbed high, won the tap down, and then he was able to volley it forward about 10 metres, but Hawker down low has been paid the mark. Plays on quickly, kicks towards right half forward. He's got a couple of options there. Handball over the top is good. Riding the run was McCarthy. Kick inside, forward 50 of the leading Lang. Got a nudge, umpire said play on. Back of the pack, McLaughlin had his kick very well smothered, and that ball will roll out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Might have been Boris with the good smother, and gets a stoppage for Grovedale. In the left forward pocket, Bailey Scott involved, and not surprisingly after 33 possessions last week. Good build-up by Colac. Ball to come back into play for McCormack for Colac to do the ruck work. Abbott over the top, winning the tap down. Lang the roving, he's taken in a good tackle. I reckon Jack Kelly might have that matchup for Wombat Gully Plant Farm. Kirsch, is he keeping an eye on him? Big ask for Des Kelly.
I think it is, actually. He's gone to him twice now, so I'd say that he's potentially sitting on him.
From the ball up, kick out of the pack for Colac. Might have come from Joffy Simpkin, and it's out of hands and out of bounds for a boundary throw. In left forward pocket at the Torquay Road end of the ground. We've got about 6 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Colac 13, lead Grovedale, no score.
Abbott worked his way down there for Grovedale to do the ruck contest. Through the middle, kick off the ground by Luke Ford for Grovedale. Back towards Abbott, gave it away by hands to Deans. Over the top to Boris, running through Luke Ford through halfback for Grovedale. Tumbling punt, only as far though as Aaron Hawker, who took the mark. And centre half forward goes to Monahan. He's tumbling punt. Oh, that was a real finger breaker, that one. And Abbott was standing there and gave it away by hand quickly for Grovedale Tigers to go through half back towards centre wing with the kick. Parkhouse, Zybell gets across there for Colac as well. They've got the numbers. Rennett's kicked, was turned it over, kicked it straight into the arms of Jack Baker. Now the ball comes back. He might be able to pick it up again. Brady Ferguson. They get it free, do they? Colac come across. Ben McCarthy in support. He sees it over the line for a boundary throw just forward to centre wing for Grovedale.
In the beautiful sunshine here at Purdue Reserve, Colac with the best of the early exchanges, 2-1-13, wearing their predominantly yellow jumper, for which we're eternally grateful, with the white shorts. With the Caragulac style stripes from the old Hawks jumper. Tap down Zybell. Front of the pack, Ben McCarthy ran into a two-man tackle going nowhere. And we will get a ball up. Shoot among those tackling. Also Will Jeffries. And we'll get a ball up for Abbott to go again against Zybell. Abbott winning the tap down to his old mate Deans. Deans, a handball release was nice to Chute out the side of the pack. Chute runs to about 70 from goal, lowered the eyes, but Rennett's a nice stretch for Colac. Took a good mark and they'll repel.
He goes inside the centre square and they can run away now. Scott gets a bounce, gets two bounces, tries to run away from Abbott, just does. Goes short at centre half forward. They take the mark back to Scott. Runs through Bailey Scott. Oh, it's a wobbly kick, but it's an open goal square and he kicks it. He started it from half back and he finished it at half forward. Great finish from Bailey Scott. His first of the afternoon and the third for Colac. 3-1-19. They lead Grovedale yet to score. Geelong Bank, K-Rock. First quarter scoreboard in the experts chair. As always, thanks to the Sporting Globe. Watch every Cats home and away game at the Sporting Globe. Geelong, here is Matt Kershaw.
Well, they looked good behind the ball then, Colac. They were always going to sort of repel that forward entry because they had some real good structure behind the ball. But, geez, when he gets the ball, Bailey Scott, he's one to watch, isn't he?
Bailey Scott or Blake Scott?
Blake Scott.
No, it's Bailey.
Bailey, yeah.
But if you put those two head to head.
Oh, imagine that. Put them out on the wing together.
With Kane Loftus.
Let's get that going for grand final day.
Final day sprint. Yes, absolutely superb football, that.
Umpire Jones back in the middle, throwing into the air, winning the tap was Abbott. Here's a roving McCarthy for Colac. They look to go forward again on the half volley. Walters took it nicely. Handball release was good for McLaughlin. McLaughlin on the left, open goal square, beckons. Back-to-back goals within about 25 seconds, and Colac have burst away to a 25-point lead. Haven't even ticked over 10 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock, and the first quarter K-Rock Geelong Bank scoreboard has Colac 4-1-25 leading Grovedale, no score.
It's technically McLaughlin's third shot on goal. He missed one just got smothered and went out of bounds, and then he's kicked his third shot on goal. So he's pretty lively down there. He's a fantastic footballer, and like Rowan McSparron said, he'll take Mark of the Year one day, and you watch him, he'll fly for a few today, and hopefully he gets a Hamlin hanger.
This has got massacre written all over it at the moment.
At the moment it has.
Country Tigers going well. Abbott gets it down, shoot through the middle. He goes to the centre-half forward position for the home side. And coming across out, Hayes on the ground, gets a right foot kick towards centre-half forward. Simpkin tried to keep the Grovedale defence at bay. Campy started behind, worked his way to the front, and then gets wrapped up by Joffe, and we'll have a ball up in the middle of Buddha Reserve.
Great attack by Cooper Hayes off half-back then.
Tommy Stephen back there. So ball up, down by Zybell. Oh, it's reefed out there by Parrish, who got the kick away for Grovedale towards half forward. Coming across, Spokes is there, who's at full to handball over the top to Parrish, running through. Handball on the inside. Shave had to wait for it, got back to Parrish. 45 metres out to the top of the square. Hayes got hands to it. Off hands, Stevens there as well. Close to the boundary line. Simpkin, Lockie, handball. Got wheeled around, then got it away. Parkhouse kick was smothered and out of bounds off hands for a throw in left forward pocket for Grovedale.
That's the Daniel Green pocket where he kicked that wonderful goal for Lara back a couple of years ago. It might have been the last time we were at Purdue Reserve.
Probably was, actually.
Late in the 2021 season. Daniel Green kicked a wonderful Lammy's Tavern goal of the afternoon in an entertaining clash between the Tigers and the Cats. Grabbed out of the ruck by Zybell. He got rid of Abbott. The handball palmed down into the path of Bailey Scott. Handball on the up was okay. Quick little foot kick from Renitz. Only went about 8 metres. Was no mark paid. And coming up last with the footy is Luke Ingles. And we'll get a ball up just inside 50. Grovedale in attack. Ryan Abbott winning the tap. Ben McCarthy, the roving for Colac, a dribbling ball that rolls into the arms of Simpkin. He couldn't take it cleanly. It was also overrun there by Tobin Murray. Ben McCarthy, handball and a throw just as Tobin Murray was about to burst through the middle of Purdue Reserve, and the free kick will go to Nathan Hall.
So Horn out, left half forward for Grovedale. Goes with a kick inside, lead on, chopped off though, and they're folding back nicely. Lockie Simpkin just filling the hole and takes the mark, and he moves the ball quickly, and they're through the middle again. Handball, chain, goes Simpkin. Joffe tries to kick on. I don't know who he was waiting for. McCarthy was waiting for somebody else. He went and got it in the end. He handballs it back inboard. Simpkin under pressure, got rid of the handball, threw it to the umpire, holding the ball. Grovedale to take the free kick and go to the outer side with the kick. Create a bit of space. Boris comes back inboard. Chafer takes it on centre wing. Grovedale moving with the left foot kick through Chafer towards half forward over the back. Spokes tried to get it away from Jack Baker, did so effectively, and the boundary umpire and the central umpire say throw the ball back in. 4-1-25, Colac fast start. Grovedale yet to score. Geelong Bank K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
Just a lack of communication or understanding through the middle there from two of their experienced players through the middle of the corridor.
In front of it, okay crowd. It's nothing like what we saw across Anzac Day weekend. And we get a boundary throw in. It's going to spill to the front of the pack, head over it, but going nowhere for Colac. Who is that at the bottom of the pack?
Spokes, I think.
It might be Cody Spokes, it is. I did find out, no, he wasn't part of that 2014 premiership, so only Lockie Simpkin and Ryan Monaghan from that side playing this afternoon. Zybell the tap down, Cassidy Parrish through the pack. So able to get boot on ball, but it's going to go across the face of goal. Hawker cleans up, gets a good shepherd from Parkhouse. Then a kick that went looking for Cooper Hayes, but the spoil was good from Tommy Stephen. A couple of former Ammo's boys going head-to-head there, and Tommy Stephen knocks it out of bounds for a boundary throw, and Grovedale stay inside forward 50 just, looking for their first. Just been able to take a little bit of heat out of the game in the past few minutes after Colac went whack with the first 4 goals from the boundary throw, and Abbott wins the tap down. Chance to clear here Colac, although the kick of Lockie Simpkin was smothered. It fell for Chafer, quick snap, missed to the left through for a minor score. So their first score of the afternoon is a behind. They trail by 24. They're one behind. playing 4-1-25 on the Carroll first quarter Geelong Bank scoreboard. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, Jace, 1% less for 2 years.
Yes, Spokes kicks it in for Colac. It's a good kick in too. And finds McLaughlin, who passes it on to Joffy. Simpkin at centre half back goes towards centre wing. Oh, that's a push in the back. No, umpire said play on. Morant stood his ground. Could have got a push in the back. Umpire said no. And we are going to have a ball up. Centre wing right in front of the best seats in the house thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. And it'll be Abbott behind umpire Douglas coming across with Zybell to do the ruck contest. They do so now. Zybell gets it down towards the centre wing position. Bit of time. Lockie Simpkin gives it away to Hawker along the line. No mark taken and off hands. And we will have a boundary throw on this occasion. Still on centre wing.
29-9, Brisbane lead Fremantle early in the second quarter. GWS 12 lead Sydney 8. 13 minutes gone first quarter on the Leopold Sporties around the ground scoreboard. Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue. Boundary throw in. Zybell tried to work his opponent off the footy in the ruck. It's going to spill here for Jeffrey, and advantage is paid. Abbott's gone forward. Parkhouse, though, did well playing in front, but was able to get a handball on the up. Melican to Renitz. Now Renitz to half-back. Monahan's got space. If it sits for him, he's in business. Although he's going to have Harms for company. Harms did okay to lay a tackle, but the handball over the top to Murray. Murray, oh, good tackle on Hayes late. Although I reckon there's a Grovedale player hurt from that tackle. And he's a little bit...
Tommy Stephen.
Yeah, Tommy Stephen. He's wrapped up his old... Ammo's teammate. He's got up okay for St John of God, and he'll take his free kick, and he's done well to stop the Colac momentum.
He goes towards half forward with the kick. Parkhouse works his way to the front. Punched away. Abbott having a rest down there against him. Spokes puts a tackle on Morant through the middle, and he's wrapped up. He's not going anywhere for Grovedale either, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. Just in between wing and half forward, grandstand side. Booty reserve this afternoon, bathed in sunshine. Zybell gets it down, beautifully rowed by Parrish. His left foot kick went nowhere though. Scott, handball over the top to Hayes. Had it and lost it, needs to get it back on the cricket pitch area and does. Got it, shuffled it towards Lockie Simpkin. Colac going towards half forward with the kick. It's okay. And the mark has been taken by McLaughlin.
McLaughlin, it's a bit of a floater inside forward 50. Well attacked by Boris. Good head over the footy. Did well the youngster and then jammed it on the boot, did Jason's boy. Kicked it out very, very wide. Not your boy, Jason Boris's boy. Chafer a handball on the bounce, trying. Well, he actually had it knocked back to him by Baker, and then the kick inside 50 and running with the flight is Mortar, who marks in the right forward pocket. Man on the mark, 45 from goal, so maybe distance testing Scotty Mortar. 13 games, 27 goals for North Warrnambool last year. Kick to the hot spot, 20 from goal. Good spoil. Parkhouse knocked it away from Abbott and was roved off the pack by Lockie Simpkin. His delivery on the way out to Scott was good. Scott brings it to the wing, wanting Hewlin back with the flight. Was just worried out of it a little bit, but Morant couldn't stop Hewlin taking the footy. His kick had a little bit too much on it for Walters, but it's going to fall right out the back. Chance here for Dustin Walters. Kick to about 20 out from goal. Rolling ball, Luke Ford, keeping his composure. He's kick around the corner, though. He's going to ask a lot of young Harms. Good use of his speed, although dumped in a tackle taken high, says the umpire in umpire Riches. As the tackle went over the top, might have been McLaughlin. He got a little bit too high, and he's found Parrish on the way out.
Parrish from centre half back towards the middle of the ground. It's a great kick, finds Will Ford. Just back end of the centre. He goes laterally with the kick, and Boris can run on and run free. Through centre wing to an open forward pocket position. Colac with the numbers, little underneath handball to Hewlin. Thought about the kick, went to by hand to Spokes. He would have put it over the top. Oh, under pressure now, Aaron Walters. He's wrapped up. He drops the footy. Umpire says play on. Spokes handball over the top. Parrish to come at Bailey Scott. Wrapped him up. It's getting hot now with the cauldron. Comes through, and the ball is dropped. That's holding the ball. Free kick. Great play, Grovedale. And Boris will take the free kick for the City Tigers.
He's having a great quarter, Ethan Boris.
Been lively, yes. Yep. Just haven't been able to get reward on the scoreboard, Grovedale, for the efforts in the last few minutes. He comes laterally towards our broadcast position for Deans. Dean short to Parrish for Grovedale. Still 70 from home. Parrish turns, kicks inside forward 50. Mitch Chafer. Oh, wonderful defensive spoil. Melican knocked it away. Chance to clear. Murray, a handball into the path of Hawker, who shares it with McCormack. Can go back over the top to Murray. He'll be confronted by Ferguson. Run out of room, out of bounds, boundary throw in. And we've got an injury in back play. Chafer being assisted. Down to you, Birchie, for St John of God. Just keep an eye on the number 4, the reigning B&F for Grovedale.
Yeah, he was a bit slow to get up, so we'll just keep an eye on that.
Contest from last defence. Melican cleaned him up.
So boundary throw in. McCormack doing the ruck work now for Colac. And he got the ball down to the side of the pack. The umpire will come in and ball it up as a couple of players get up there. He's Murray for Colac. Gave the ball back to the umpire. Parrish couldn't take it. Will Ford tries to rip through and get the handball over the top. Chafer has recovered. He's around that contest now. Still at half forward for Grovedale. And umpire Jones will come in and ball it up. 4-1-25. Colac, Grovedale 1 behind. Geelong Bank, K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
Really need to find a score here. A goal to the Tigers. The roving done by Bailey Scott, and he'll burst away with a bounce, although he'll get confronted. Handball on the bounce over the top. Chance for Simpkin. Simpkin will pull the kick to a one-on-one in the forward pocket. Back with the flight. Zybell couldn't get a handle on it. Then he volleyed it out of midair and kicked the goal. Oh, from about 8 metres out, he hit it flush. Sort of
Haaland style.
I was thinking Haaland or Virgil van Dijk. Anybody in the EPL that has a great name.
Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Oh, well.
Wind the clock back, Jace.
How old are you? Ruud van Nistelrooy.
The margin is 30, and after just holding the Colac side off for a while, Grovedale unfortunately concede one, and it's Bailey Scott's run again as they go to 5-1-31, playing one behind on the K-Rock Geelong Bank scoreboard. For the Sporting Globe, Matt Kershaw.
It's his 9th touch, Bailey Scott, but it's what he does with the ball. He breaks the lines. We've seen it now 3 or 4 occasions. He gets the ball, run and carry, breaks the lines, and it opens the game up and creates overlap for his teammates, and that's what's really broke this game open. Bailey Scott with his run and carry at the moment.
Corridor well too, aren't they?
Absolutely owning it.
So McCormack in the ruck against Abbott, who got it down towards Deans, running off the wing. Grovedale might be able to break free, and they do. The kick
Too far.
Oh, wow, really?
Yep.
Morant.
Well, he did go for nearly one edge of the centre square to
Fair
the
enough.
other.
Okay, so too far free kick to McCormack, who got it away to, they call play on. He got it away by hand to Simpkin. Lockie, who was under pressure from behind by Mortar, and they've turned it over. Will Ford's taken the mark. Called to play on. No 15, no 20, no whatever. He just plays on. Right foot kick towards half forward. Walker. Oh, talk about Bailey Scott and Walker. I'd like to see Walker in the sprint too. He goes quickly. Sam Walker has taken the mark at right half forward for Grovedale.
We might have to do a virtual type grand final day sprint and have these boys on some type of computer.
Why couldn't we have the real thing?
Oh, we can.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
sure
do
Tom
that.
King can arrange it, to be honest.
We used to have
Yeah,
it.
they used to
have
be.
one. Well,
Yeah.
Sam Walker would be one of them. Bailey Scott's another, and
We'll
he's
do
going
a super kick as well.
He's out.
Let's bring it all back.
All right,
Old
let's do
school
that.
football.
Walker comes in, 40
crowd want.
metres out. Good kick.
Great kick.
Good kick. First major of the afternoon for Grovedale. Much needed. Sam Walker kicks his first, and the first for the City Tigers. 1-1-7. They trail Colac 5-1-31. Geelong Bank K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
Well, Daniel Fraser will be a little bit happier about that because they pressured the ball carrier then, and as we just mentioned, Bailey Scott was one of those reasons. But Lockie Simpkin off half-back's been dangerous as well. But they shut him down then. They turned the ball back over, got it into their forward line, and I think that's their first mark inside forward 50 for the quarter. So crucial one and a really good set shot. Good finish.
Just back on the grand final sprint, there was a plunge in 1998 on a South Barwon kid who played in the under-18 grand final in the morning and then ran in the sprint and won it. And I reckon the South Barwon under-18 boys might have taken one of the bookies. Because remember we used to have on-site bookies on grand final days of the cleaners. As Grovedale goes inside forward 50 again, Ferguson the target, Parkhouse the spoil, Ferguson the recovery, handball, Mortar for a second for the Tigers of Grovedale. And he likes it too.
What?
The crowd, the past players underneath the awnings in front of the social club liked it, and Scotty Mortar got him up and about as he kicks his first of the afternoon. Back-to-back goals, very similar to the back-to-back goals kicked in about 30 seconds earlier in the quarter by Colac. They go to 2-1-13, margin back to 18, playing 5-1-31. K-Rock, Geelong Bank scoreboard.
Goes back to that winning the ball around the contest, and they won that clearance then out of the middle and into their forward line pretty quickly. But they're just starting to even it out there around those stoppages.
So back to the middle. Zybell back in the ruck for Colac. Abbott gets it down, rode by Bailey Scott. Possession number 10 goes towards half forward. Oh, good. Two grabber there for Grovedale by Kurt. He went to ground and fell into his arms the second time. Called to play on now. He has to get around McLaughlin, which he does, and goes by foot towards half forward. Is that an over-the-shoulder hold? It's a hold, said the umpire. Richie's the moth, and he gives it to Chafer, who will go inside 50, but Zybel works his way across and takes the mark for Colac.
He wanted Ferguson on a lead, but Zybel positioning himself well, the big man. Sends it towards the outer side with a well way to kick. Although mark drop there by McLaughlin, and now he's slunging the tackle after finding the loose footy, and he's been pinched. That's harsh. Chafer laterally to Chute. And Jack Chute with the left shoulder taped as marked. Gives a handball off to cruising past. Might be Kelly driving it long inside forward 50. Parkhouse judged it best. Took a nice mark.
Been good, Parkhouse.
So it was just a wasted kick inside forward 50. Parkhouse, the former Vic Country rep. At under 18 level, goes short to Jared Walters. Remember, I think the Falcons 2017 flag. I'm sure he was part of that side. As he goes short to Scott. Scott goes short to the leading Simpkin. And the glittering career of Joffy Simpkin continues as he goes laterally to Monahan. Monahan just back of the wing, outer side, called to play on. Wants to send the kick wide, but he's turned it over. Wasn't a great kick of Morant on his wing, as marked. So Harvey Morant playing his third GFL senior game, sending it long into the right forward pocket. Billy Ford was his target. Parkhouse, the big defensive spoil, says Mick Schiltz. Have a look at this, Prez. I'm going to send this out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
Should have gone the double.
With his fist taped up.
So boundary throw in. Right half forward for Grovedale. And it'll be Zybel in front. Monahan. Oh, he had it and then he lost it in the tackle, and then he played for a free kick for a hold, didn't get one. The umpire said play on. Ball spills towards Deans, and he'll handball. He'll give the ball back to Moth, and he'll throw it up at right half forward still for Grovedale. Gets Abbott got a piece of it, so does Zybel. Deans puts the tackle on this time. Ben McCarthy not going anywhere. And Tom King's going to get us going here at Voodoo Reserve. 5-1-31, Colac, Grovedale, 2-1-13.
They get back to a couple of goals at quarter time. Wouldn't be a bad result. They might too, because Abbott's jammed it, grabbed it out of the ruck, jammed a kick forward. But numbers for Colac, including Simpkin trying to barge his way through, try to repel. He can't take it anywhere. Neither can Walters for Colac, and they'll be hemmed inside their forward or defensive 50 again, Colac. Grovedale just the best of the most recent exchanges. Umpire puts it into the air. Ferguson having to do the ruck work, and there's going to be a free kick in the ruck contest, and it's going to go to Ferguson. So they've got Zybel for an infringement, umpire Jones. Zybel's not that he's the most demonstrative of characters, but didn't seem to really put up a fight against the umpire. Not that you can much these days. And Brady Ferguson, as we know, made his name as a defender in the talent pathway, trying to make it as a forward for Grovedale. Man of the mark 20 from goal, should really kick this, and he does. So they're back to within 12 points after conceding a 30-point head start. They've kicked the last three, and the margin is back to 12. They're 3-1-19, Grovedale. Colac 5-1-31 on the first quarter. K-Rock, Geelong Bank scoreboard. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan. 1% less for 2 years. More info at geelongbank.com.au.
There might have been some words said out there between Ferguson and Zybel, because Ferguson really let him know about it as well. Got up right in his face and gave him the old one fist salute and told him about it, and Zybel told him something as they ran off. So there might be a little bit of fire in that. As the day goes on, there'll be one to watch.
So back to the middle. Zybel, Abbott gets it down off the half-back flank. Simpkin just working his way behind the footy in the late stages of this first term. Got the ball out. McLaughlin, he should have taken the mark. He didn't. Parrish got the clearing kick out wide towards centre wing. There's a 2-on-1 Grovedale, and they might be able to help each other out to their handball. Howe over the top to Ford. He got it away. Walker close to the boundary line, in fact too close, and he walked out of bounds. We'll have a throw in on centre wing, grandstand side.
They've fought hard to get back into the contest late in this first quarter for Geelong Bank, the Tigers of Grovedale. Marching back to 12, but geez, it had blowout written all over it after the first 4 goals were banged on fairly rapidly by Colac. Just waiting for the boundary umpire to retrieve the ball from the crowd, and now that's back. We're back into play. Zybel, Abbott winning the tap down this time at the chance to clear. Murray, a handball over the top. Hewlin back to Murray, who then gave it to Monahan, who looped it over the top, although McCormack overran the loose ball. Little tap was nice back out towards Hewlin. It came from Murray, and he'll go again. No, he's low, he's legged, and the umpire said take a free kick. Tobin Murray wearing the number 4 this afternoon. It's usually occupied by Kane Smart, and he'll send Colac into attack.
So Murray goes towards the pocket, coming out at pace. Free kick, umpire said was a block. And the free kick's going to come back to Grovedale. And I think Rory Quinn is going to take that free kick.
We haven't called Josh Garner's name yet.
All right.
Interesting that Darcy Lang hasn't had a run on the ball yet either. He's played predominantly forward.
So Rory Quinn into the team this week with Harrison White out, playing in the back line. Drives it long towards centre wing with the kick on the outer side. Zybell in front, off his hands. Also McHugh was there. And the boundary umpire with a bit more work to do here on centre wing on the outer side. 5-1-31, Colac Grovedale. 3-1-19, close to quarter time here at Voodoo Reserve.
As true a centre wing as you can get. As the ball's flung back into play, tapped down by Abbott, front of the pack, shoot, hit it at pace. He was unmarked, and now a kick inside forward 50. Ferguson positioning himself, and the spoil came from Reynolds, who was able to knock it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. But they're finding ways out at the stoppage without it having to be Dean's. Choots got his hands on the footy a couple of times.
Yeah, Choots really stepped up for them, and you're right, Dean's has sort of been a bit quiet around the stoppages, but they're starting to get on top around the stoppages, so they're working as a unit together in there to get it out.
Zybell with the backhand up towards the boundary line. He's chewed again, a handball. Schaefer back to Parrish. Parrish a kick to about 25 from goal. Where's Ferguson? Reynolds in front, brought it to ground level. Numbers there for the Tigers. One of those was Baker, but he couldn't get his hands on the footy. Handball out the side door for Colac. Missed its intended target. It was Murray who gave the handball. He had to go in and lay a tackle, which was very fierce on Ferguson. And 20 out directly in front. But we'll get a ball up. Grovedale in attack.
So ball up for Ferguson. Zybell, neither really get an effective tap down there. Walters through the middle. That was Jared. Kick across towards Hewland in between the back pocket and half back for Colac. Tries to drill it towards centre wing. Punched away defensively by Quinn. Handball, Cooper Hayes over the top towards Monaghan, but sits his away. Oh, he left it behind though. And then pushed out of bounds and just took his eye off the ball. Cardinal sin of football.
Well, he probably
taking your eye off the ball.
I'm surprised he probably had that much space.
Yeah. And we're going to have a boundary throw in on centre wing.
It's a good attack again by Cooper Hayes. He has a good attack on the ball, doesn't he?
Yep. He's looking good across half back there. Abbott and Zybell throw in. Abbott in front, try to take it out of the ruck contest a bit. Simpkin, Joffe. And they tap it back towards Inglis. Can he pick it up? Yes, he can. His handball was terrible, though. And now Walker outside of the right boot towards the forward pocket. Colac with the numbers, but the cricket pitch area right next to the ground is going to be the winner there for Grovedale, and they're going to keep it deep forward. 31 playing 19 here at Voodoo. Geelong Bank K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
West 10, St Albans 8, Bell Park 15, Lara 13, St Mary's 28, Leopold 6 around the grounds for Leopold Sporties in this opening quarter of action. And Newtown and South Barwon, no score being registered on Play HQ. Boundary throw in. Ferguson the ruck work, front of the pack, chance for Mortar. Left foot snap, got really no purchase. Chance to clear Ben McCarthy as the quarter time siren sounds. And the mark was taken right on the siren, but I don't think it'll be paid to Nathan Howe or Hoare. And it is quarter time here at Voodoo Reserve. An entertaining opening term. They kicked 5 of the first 6 goals, did Colac. They burst away, but they've been able to get themselves back into the contest. Actually, they kicked the first 5 goals, and they've been able to kick the last 3 through Walker, Mortar and Ferguson to get the margin back to 12 points. 5-1-31, 3-1-19, quarter time at Voodoo Reserve on a Saturday afternoon. We'll be back shortly thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7 and the all-new Chimmy Changa Jackal. Live, breathe, K-Rock footy.
You're pretty good at this stuff, aren't you?
Thank you, Birchie. Jane Birch down boundary side. Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. Gee, I tell you, that hydrotherapy pool, you reckon St Joseph's and
That'd be copping to work out, wouldn't it, this week? I would have thought.
Absolute. Teams on that short turnaround. Now, it's a purpose-built rehabilitation, health and fitness facility at Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. Physio, podiatry, myotherapy, concussion management, sports massage, plus an experienced team of health and fitness trainers. Geelong Sports Medicine Centre, your ultimate destination for health, fitness and recovery. Players in position, but we're still waiting for the crowd to get off the ground.
If I was Neildy, I would have had them there every day this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they were basically straight into recovery Tuesday night.
Yeah, they would have been.
They had recovery booked for 6
right.
o'clock on Tuesday night.
Smart.
Yep, no, absolutely. No, Neildy was very keen to get that professionalism
Into the club?
into the lifted.
Continue, yeah.
Take off from where Faz left them in the end of 2022. Dave Farrell now, of course, coaching the OG. AFL around the ground scores. Brisbane 37, make that 55 lead. Fremantle 18. And the Swans 20 trailed the Giants 31.
Wow.
Second quarter, Harvey Norman Cryo and Warren Ponds. We're underway. Here's Jason.
Yes, Ryan Abbott goes up and beautifully gets it down to Nathan Deans, who drives it long for Grovedale to centre half forward. But, if you don't mind, just take the mark over the back. Jack Malikan for Colac. He goes towards McLaughlin, who can't take the mark. He puts a good tackle on Boris. And the two young guns go at it. The umpire says before anybody could break away, he's going to come in and ball it up. Just forward to the centre wing for Grovedale. Attacking the city end in this second term from the ruck contest. Parrish tried to shuffle the handball out from hands and knees. Couldn't do so really effectively. Now the ball spills free. Colac close to the line. In fact, they run out. Can't keep that ball in. We're going to have it's going to be a push, said the umpire. So a push. And Colac will take the free kick.
Speedy Deans wasn't none too pleased.
He wasn't. So the Country Tigers to move it towards centre wing. Walters a little lead further than that. It's a 2-on-1. If you don't mind, Hamlin, hanger! Came from Josh Garner. And he moves it for Colac inside 50, right in front of us. The best seats of the house, thanks to Apco Cafe 24/7. And then Darcy Lang off the ground about 15 metres out from goal. Missed it with a soccer kick and through for one behind. So a great start for Colac. And Josh Garner, if you don't mind.
Welcome to the game.
Who's Adam Garner? Who's he again? And 5-2-32 Colac lead Grovedale 3-1-19 Harvey Norman K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
That is a cracking mark for Hamlin from Josh Garner. What a way to announce yourself on the GFL. Miranda kick to the outer wing, looking for Abbott. Zybell there, and then his handball out of bounds, and we'll get a boundary thrown. That is one of the better climbs you will see in the GFL this year.
The best thing he was actually 3 deep, and he worked really hard to get to the contest first, and then thought, nah, I'm up here.
Well, Rowe thought said he was pretty athletic. I think that showed it.
Yeah, certainly did. And then Darcy Lang nearly socketed a goal of the day as well.
That's right.
It was nearly all happening.
Back into play, the boundary thrown out a wing, tapped down by Abbott to Deans, inside forward 50 with a kick. Good stretch, going back with a flight. G. Rennett's become a very solid citizen as he's now at game number 66 down back, short. Mark taken by Scott, a handball release into the path of Malikan, chopped off by Deans, who knocked it down. But they're going to come up with it again here, the Tigers. Tackle Chafer laid by him on Rennett's. No, in fact, it's on Inglis, and we'll get a ball up. Zybell puts his hands in the air, says, I'll do the ruck work against Abbott again. They nullify each other. Ball hits the deck. Well done by Cassidy Parrish. Reeled the ball in, gave it to Deans. Deans a handball off. Kick inside forward 50 for the Tigers was a floater, but Chafer was able to mark. It wasn't the greatest connection on the kick.
He had to mark it or else he was going to break his nose.
Yeah, coming in. And it'll be a shot at goal for Mitch Chafer to make the margin 7 points. Might have been Kelly with the kick coming in. Last year's reserves, best and fairest. Or was it Hoare? It might have been Hoare, in fact. Or Howe. We haven't got correct. Just can you clarify when you can, Birchie, whether it's Howe or Hoare. There's Chafer. Man on the mark, 40 from goal. This really is rudimentary for Mitch Chafer, and he has gold. So Chafer with his first of the afternoon, and the margin is back to 7 points. 5-2-32 Colac. Grovedale 4-2-26. I said the word massacre early, but that's not going to happen this afternoon.
It was on that path, though, wasn't it?
It was, but Grovedale.
They have using the football again in there.
They were, yeah. So
Way too many handballs.
I don't know if you, in the first quarter, when they got the ball in the forward line quick, we said how dangerous it was and
Darcy
how,
Lang and
they just had players out every time they moved the ball quick. Now when you're overusing it, and that does come from pressure, Jace, as well through the corridor. So Grovedale have done well to get back on top in that area.
Back in the middle, Zybell. Abbott gets it down. Pushes it forward. Will Ford leaves it for Deans. Why wouldn't you? And he gets it away. Shoot over the top. Goes towards half forward Grovedale. Morant inside 50 again. And he's going to be able to double it up here, Mitchie boy, because he's taken the mark. Schaefer from just about the same position. 40 out. Slide angle. And pretty easy. I reckon he might have 30 or 40 shots a night when he's training here. There's a Colac player down in back play.
Is it Jared Walters or is it Bailey Scott?
It is somebody with a very blood nose, I can tell you that. So Mitch Schaefer not standing too far away from...
If that's blood, it has to be blood ruling. It'd have to come from the ground, so they can't do anything.
I think he'll be getting up now. I think it is Bailey Scott, actually. So...
Where they can slow him down, he's sitting on 13 possessions.
So he's going to be coming off with a blood rule. And Mitch Schaefer has the football.
Surname clarification, it is Nick Howe.
Oh, thank you.
So we were right.
Always. Always.
Thank you for that, Birchie.
So Schaefer comes in, left foot kick, 40 out, directly in front. Goal umpire says, I will not move. And Mitch Schaefer will put his second on the board, second for this term, and the second for Grovedale. And they are now a point behind. 5-1-31. Colac 5-2-32. Harvey Norman. K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
We said Grovedale were getting on top around the stoppages, and they've continued that form in this second quarter. Abbott to Deans to Schaefer. Doesn't get much easier than that, or much better than that combination, that's for sure. That's their three top players getting involved there. And if you just watch some of the stoppage work, they are always on the move, Grovedale. So they're really busy around the stoppages at the minute to get that clearance.
Leopold Sporties, Brisbane 55, Fremantle 24, Sydney 27, trail GWS 37. Umpire Richards puts it into the air for Abbott and Zybell to go at it again. Maybe Abbott getting a piece of it. It's going to fall for him. He's going to get a handball. It's going to be a free kick and back play for a push in the back. Monaghan in that Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup against the veteran Deans, who decides to sneak off and kick inside forward 50. Marking target was Schaefer, going back with the flight. Well judged. Reynolds takes a good grab. He goes short and finds Joffy Simpkin. Simpkin goes wide and Zybell has marked. Zybell with a kick towards the outer wing and coming up and taking it, Ben McCarthy. So if you're wondering where Liam McCarthy is in Queensland these days, after being on the Geelong VFL list last year, his short kick is okay. Mark taken, might be Murray who goes short. Oh, through the hands of Simpkin, taken by Billy Ford, who can burst away. Billy Ford kick inside forward 50 and Murdoch all alone, Ferguson I should say, all alone. Has marked 40 out and turned his back to say, do you know what?
I've got this
covered, boys.
I'll tell you what, it's a little bit of non-pressure football at the moment from the Colac Football Club on the Grovedale Football Club, because they are just moving the ball with ease. Yeah, they turned it over, but those two possessions was at ease.
For a sixth consecutive goal in the unlikeliest of leads after trailing by 30, got close to the man on the mark, will cover the distance, and the accuracy not there. Misses to the left, and we are all locked away at 5-2 apiece on the K-Rock second quarter Harvey Norman scoreboard. Grovedale 32, Colac 32, as we've gone about 6 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock second quarter.
Lockie Simpkin kicks in for Colac, runs his full measure, and doesn't know where to go. So just goes, well, to three Grovedale players. He might be lucky to get away with it. Lang gets the handball out wide. Murray, second to it there against Dale Kerr. Kerr happy to see it over the boundary line. He had not much support there close to the boundary line, so happy to use the line as his supporter there from the contest. And we're going to have a boundary throw in now for Abbott and Zybell. To the front, Abbott. Parrish, Murray over the top of it for Colac as well. They dance on the ground together, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. Still in centre wing. Grandstand side all tied up here at Buddha Reserve. 5-2, 32 apiece.
Tapped down by Abbott and went to go off the ground, had a fresh air. He head over the footy was Tobin Murray. Now pushing the back, I reckon, over the top Zybell it will be. And a free kick for Ryan Abbott, who gets up a little bit ginger. Handball off to Kerr. Grovedale will go into attack. What's his target?
Good
kick.
Wonderful
Kick. And the lead onto the lead from Brady Ferguson was a wonderful take on the chest. It was coming in real tracer bullet style and lucky not to have exploded through his chest. And this will give Grovedale a lead that we didn't see coming at the 20-minute mark of the opening term when Zach Zybell kicked the 5th goal for Colac. This for 6 straight, and he has kicked his 2nd, and they are in front, Grovedale. So Ferguson with 2, Grovedale with 6, and they move 6 points to the good. They're 6-2-38 on the K-Rock second quarter Harvey Norman scoreboard. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Colac a 5-2-32. And thanks to Port Phillip Ferries, we've gone about 8 minutes and there's no better way to travel to the footy. Check out portphillipferries.com.au for tickets and timetables. Kirsch.
The most important thing is that Grovedale are now winning all the crucial one-on-one contests around the ground. So you've got all these little battles within a big battle and they're actually winning all the one-on-one contests, and that's what's getting them some easy ball inside their forward half.
Back in the middle, Abbott getting on top in the middle as well. Gets it down to Parrish. Goes inside 50 again with a kick mark. Hamlet hanger contender. And that was just way too easy. And the ball came in. Will Jeffrey just got the big hands up there and plucked the mark at half forward. And Cassidy Parrish, roving work from Ryan Abbott's ruck work, and it's way too easy. And 2 in 30 seconds for Grovedale, possibly through Will Jeffrey, who comes in 40 out and making the goal umpire work for it and is missed. Ooh. It's pretty close, but through for 1 behind. 6-3-39 now Grovedale. Colac 5-2-32. Harvey Norman K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
Great ruck work from Abbott. He saw that Parrish was the sweeper on his own and just went to him, and easy clearance.
Spokes to bring the ball back into play, into the left back pocket. Parkhouse stretches and marks in front of Chute. Unbelievable change that has come over this contest in the last 15 or so minutes.
Well, they've got nowhere to go with their ball movement either. They have to kick these long down the line kicks.
Well, if you've got Garner, you're a chance. Flying there, but not marking. It was Dustin Walters for Colac. Parrish trying to extract the footy, just threw it up. Aaron Walters. Lang might have gone up onto the ball, kicks on his right. Garner eludes him and rolls towards the boundary line. And last week's Spirit of Anzac medalist Luke Ford, happy to see it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Right at the interchange gates, Jane Birch down boundary side for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre, keeping an eye on all things.
Bailey Scott still hasn't emerged from the bunker, I think, because it's such a hot day. They're just having trouble stemming that blood flow from the nose.
Thank you for that, Birchage, for St John of God. St John of God, we put you first. Laying a handball on the up. Now, that's come off the thigh of Angus Shuland and out of bounds, and a boundary throw-in. A very solidly built unit is Angus Shuland.
He is. I'm not sure he was ready for Darcy Lang's quick hands either.
They were elite.
They were.
Darcy Lang wearing something resembling cricket shoes this afternoon. They're very, very white. Boundary throw-in. Looks like he's going to come in from the northern end. Here's a chance for Cassidy Parrish at the front of the pack. Umpire says, give it to me. That's umpire Douglas patrolling the scene at the moment. And we'll get a ball up. So near the point of the square at left half forward. Umpire puts it into the air. Zybell and Abbott again. Abbott climbed high, won the tap. Parrish the roving. Handball that was more a throw. Chance here for Deans near the boundary line. Dumped as he got rid of it. Oh, McCarthy. Good use of the body by Jeffrey. Handball into the path of Chute. Chute can tuck it under the arm and go. And leading out Ferguson. Couldn't complete the mark. Parkhouse played it well. Found it on ground level and a handball to Hayes.
Yes, Hayes goes towards half forward, running back with a ball. Oh, Murray runs into Joffe and they fall over. Ford gets it. He goes with the kick for Grovedale towards half forward.
Down the ground.
Down the ground was there. Free kick. Grovedale, left half forward, going to take the free kick. Mortar. Is it? I don't know who it's going to. Who is it going to? Yes, and then Chute was running past. So, free kick left half forward for the home side. Drills the ball towards Ferguson, who puts his hands up and goes, bang, if you don't mind. And he's causing them some grief. Deep forward now, Brady Ferguson. He's kicked 2 goals, 1, and a chance from 50 to put his 3rd on the board and the 7th for Grovedale.
Well, there's not much Parkhouse can do when they're coming in like that, but where are the other defenders coming off and protecting that corridor? There's none of that going on at the moment. They're all just playing solo footy.
So Ferguson, 50 out, right foot kick, keeps it low, not going to make the distance, punched away, front of the pack, about 10 out from the Grovedale goal. Jeffrey wrapped up, and the Colac defence working overtime, and we will have a ball up pretty close to the Grovedale goal.
Boundary throw in. Grabbed out of the ruck by Zybel. He jams it on the boot towards half-back. A tapping it as Harms. Tapped it to his own advantage. Then he tried to get a handball back to Deans. Did find Deans eventually. Chafer through traffic. Somehow, lovely little tap on by Murray. Found Spokes. Spokes in the right-back pocket. Clearing kick wanting Dustin Walters. He couldn't mark what he should have taken. Time to recover, though, when he found it at ground level. Swings onto his right boot. Kick now towards a one-on-one contest. And McCormack was strong, playing a forward role this afternoon. The former Lara Cat in front of Brady Campy, playing game 134 this afternoon. He just concedes some ground to Zybel, who then comes laterally to the run of Simpkin, who then fires a handball, Malakan I should say, who gives a handball to Monahan. Monahan a kick inside forward 50. McCormack back with the flight, best suited. Surely a free kick front on contact by Chute. And he's worked his backside off there, McCormack, to put himself in that position, and he'll have a shot at goal with the man, it's actually Dustin Walters, I should say, not McCormack.
Oh, wasn't good work right then. Wrapped him up.
And a 50-metre penalty as well. So this will be an absolute gimme, and that's well, when you're a coach, that must be somewhat of a coach killer, as Dustin Walters kicks the goal and snaps a run of 6 consecutive Grovedale goals and pulls the margin back to 1 point on the K-Rock second quarter Harvey Norman scoreboard. 6-3-39 Grovedale, 6-2-38 Colac. And on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock, we've gone about 13 minutes.
A little bit better ball movement there from Colac. That's what we saw in the first, probably 15 minutes of the game, switching the play, opening the game up, making the ground big, getting their forward line quick, and that's how you beat opposition teams that are defending well on you and putting a lot of pressure on you. So that's only a little snippet we've seen this quarter. Let's see if they can, I guess the thing is now to get 2 goals in a row. That's the secret.
So McCormack giving Zybel a spell in the ruck, doesn't even go up in the ruck contest. Let Abbott do it, and then he's going to put the tackle on Abbott as he brings him to the ground.
Port Arlington 38 lead Mottawarri 19 on the Leopold Sporties around the ground scoreboard.
There you go.
Huge.
So secondary bounce in the middle. McCormack gets it down. Murray, oh gee, went high there on the tackle. Chute was in there. He was low, and he's going to get up with Speedy Deans. Grovedale twosome on the ground there. So a third bounce in the middle. Abbott up early, takes it out of the ruck. McCormack put the pressure on. McCarthy for Colac. Gets it to the wide open space of half forward. Kelly gets across there for Grovedale. He tracked it towards the boundary line. I think he runs out of room, he does. In front of the past players here this afternoon at Grovedale. We'll have a boundary throw in right half forward for Colac.
South Barwon showing no ill effects of playing on Tuesday. 48 lead Newtown 18.
Geez, the rehabilitation worked pretty well.
They must have been at Geelong Sports Medicine Centre.
must have been.
Starting at 6 o'clock after the game certainly worked.
Boundary throw in, free kick for a hold, going against McCormack and going to Abbott. So McCormack just having to give a chop out to Zybel with the big man stocks.
Blowing a gale up there, is it?
Down slightly. Abbott inside his defensive 50, wants to send it towards the outer wing, back with the flight. That's Spokes taking a really good mark in the blue boots. He comes laterally and stretching, but not marking was Ben McCarthy. Time to recover, a handball to the run of Renitz. Renitz bangs it long inside forward 50. Walters back with the flight, couldn't complete the mark. That was Dustin off the hands of the pack. McLaughlin fit of the fumbles, handball back towards Dustin Walters, who has it knocked from his grasp and out of bounds for a boundary throw. In Leopold Sporties, Geelong West 36, St Albans 14. Bell Park 36 and Lara in a humdinger 33. St Mary's 52 have blown Leopold out of the water 14, and that's no surprise with the difference in talent running around for those two clubs this afternoon. From the boundary throw-in, Abbott got rid of McCormack, grabbed it out of the ruck, gave a handball off, but only straight to Hawker. Hawker's kicked towards forward 50. Boris down low for Grovedale. To Luke Ford, and they're away.
They go back inside into the centre square. Schaefer keeps his feet. Will Ford helped him out. Quick kick around the corner. Harms to Parrish. Found him. Handball to Deans. They seem to be running next to each other all the time. They spread the ball to Kerr on centre wing. He's confronted, needs to get around. He got the handball away. They had the numbers over the top. Howe gets it away. Back in. Board Deans had to sit and wait. Oh, a little sidestep was nice. Little shimmy. Kick over the top. They just hold up. Oh, off a step. Howe was called to play on no 15. Inside 50 for Grovedale. Falls towards Walker. Can't take it. Working overtime. Colac at the back. Simpkin Lockie played for a free kick. A high. Got one.
High, yeah.
And we'll take the free kick at half back.
Just a little ear massage.
Made sure the umpire saw it
did.
too. He laterally kicks it. The Country Tigers are away.
Hayes goes looking for Inglis. Inglis now kicked towards half forward. Out the back is McLaughlin. Franklin stretching and taking a good mark. Wants to swing onto his left boot to about 25 out. Zybel. Oh, great mix. Bit further than 25, make it 30, but he had 2 Tigers, including Kerr and McHugh, and he clunked it like you would not believe. And he'll go back and have a shot to give Colac back the lead or to tie the score depending on the result.
That ball was doing a lot in the air, might I add, as well. That was swinging out, Terry Alderman style.
Hamlin Hanger contender, but the only issue is they're all playing for second this afternoon to Josh Garner.
At the moment they are.
We haven't seen Josh Garner before or since.
Well, if that's all he does today, we're happy.
He could play one senior game for his whole career and he's won the Mark of the Year.
From about 35, make it 40. He's pushed it to the right, Zach Zybel, and we are locked away at 6-3, 39 apiece. Grovedale and Colac from Birdoo Reserve on K-Rock Football, K-Rock 955, KRockFootball.live and AFLbarwin.com.au. Tom King, Matt Kershaw, Jane Birch, and the next voice you'll hear is that of Jason Doherty.
Dale Kerr has the footy at full-back. He's a bit proppy too, Dale Kerr.
Yeah, he is.
Does he normally run like that?
Maybe a stone in his shoe.
He does. 100% there as he goes to get the football back. He's got it at full-back now for Grovedale. And he plays on. Comes towards the best seats in the house thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. McCormack gave Abbott a slap in the back and then put the tackle on as well. And we'll have a ball up right in front of the best seats in the house thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. And right in front of Birchie as well, who's riding the boundary this afternoon.
Port Arlington by 24 now.
Oh, there's the story. Ruck contest. Abbott big thump away to run onto it. Howe hold, said the umpire. Bailey Scott back on the ground. Howe's going to take the free kick for Grovedale at right half back.
He'll kick, looking for a lead, and it's Ferguson, but coming up across the front and taking a good mark is Rennett, who's been good this afternoon. He's now called to play on, confronted by Ferguson, was able to get a high kick towards half forward. Campy back with the flight, ball out the back, Langred at best, and then sent a long ball. Will it curve? No, it won't. Knocked through for a behind, getting back with the flight. Good defensive work might have been done by Kelly.
Kid on the ground.
Who's found himself in the goal square wearing a Grovedale jumper. Quick kick in. Oh, it missed its intended target. And McHugh, and this is going to be a goal for Bailey Scott, I reckon. Oh, that is a coach killer. Turnover from the kick in. And the second of the afternoon for Bailey Scott. And the margin is now 7 points to the good of Colac. 7-4-46, playing 6-3-39 on the second quarter, I should say. Harvey Norman, Cry on Warm Pond scoreboard. Ouch!
Yeah, well, they've had a fair chunk of the quarter without Bailey Scott, haven't they? And they've held up pretty well, injecting back into the game. Look at the influence he has straight away. Broken schnoz or not, he's come back out and influenced.
20 played. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock in this second term. Just been able to steady a bit, haven't they, Colac?
They have, yeah, just with ball in hand, a little bit more experience.
So Ferguson having a run in the ruck against McCormack now to give Abbott a chop out. McCormack gets the kick inside 50 again over the head of Walters at the back. Working hard is Quinn for Grovedale. Chain of handballs. They get it away. The home side, but out of bounds on the full. And Jed Bustyle, that's out.
First one for the day, Jace.
First one for the day, yes. And the free kick's going to come back.
Really impressed.
Hawker for Colac. He goes inside 50. Lang, 30 line. No mark taken. McLaughlin handball. Monahan back towards Lang. Left foot kick, top of the square. 2-on-1. Walters goes up and takes the mark. And he was up against Josh Garner, who said, well, I've taken a massive hanger, so you can take one now too. Dustin Walters, who's kicked one, will have a set shot for goal from 15 out, 45-degree angle.
Does that go down as contested, even though you took it against your own teammate?
He turns around, he kicks the goal. So I think so. I don't know, how do they do that? That's his second, Dustin Walters. And another steadier for the visitors. 8-4-52. They lead Grovedale 6-3-39. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, second quarter scoreboard.
A little bit of a difference, a point of difference in this last probably 5 to 7 minutes has been Jared McCormack in the ruck as well, because he's sort of playing as that extra ruck rover because he's fit enough, he's got a good size, and he's had the last 2 clearances, so he's been instrumental.
This has been a quarter of 2 halves as well.
It has, hasn't it? Yeah, Grovedale's come out absolutely doing as they wanted, and now it's the other way around. Colac have got themselves back up in this game.
So they actually lead by more than what they led at quarter time, unbelievably, after trailing by 7 points. 3 consecutive goals means a 20-point turnaround. Back in the middle, Ferguson won the tap this time. Will Ford, I should say, jams it on the boot towards forward 50. Brought about 20 metres for his team. Got it outside the centre square, but Colac have got numbers. Bailey Scott, one of those. Sees the traffic go by him and then loops a handball over the top. Monahan just out of the reach of McCormack, but he'll run under the loose ball and they're away again. Kick out wide, looking for McLaughlin. Dropped what he should have taken under pressure from Boris, but was able to recover. Gave a handball to Hewlin. Hewlin to the lead, and he finds the presenting Dustin Walters again, who's having some sort of purple patch in this last 10 or so minutes. He'll go back and have a shot at his third.
Don't want to sound like a broken record, but again, it was Scott McCormack breaking the game open.
So he's only averaging half a goal a game. He's playing his 39th GFL senior game, had 17 goals coming in. This is for 3 1/4, and for a 19-point Colac lead. Starts at left, and that will be enough for a goal. Just worked it back enough, didn't pull it too far. He's got 3, Dustin Walters, all in this second quarter. Leopold Sporty's player of the day sort of action going on here from Dustin Walters. And the lead is now out to 19 points. It's 9-4-58, playing 6-3-39 in a very entertaining clash here at Boodoo Reserve on Carroll Football. Thanks to Apco Cafe 24/7 and the Chimichanga Jaffle.
Young Will McLaughlin gets himself into really good positions. He's having an almost game. He's dropped a few marks. He's doing a bit fumbly, but geez, if you watch his patterns, he gets into some really good positions, and don't be surprised if he sort of has a little bit of a moment in this game as well.
Back to the middle. McCormack gets it down. Parrish loses his feet in the contest. Coming off half-back, Boris can't take it. Or Murray through the middle, got one high. And should take a free kick for Colac. Forward of the centre circle, plays on quickly, wants to drive it inside 50. Over the head of a couple, goes towards Zybell. McHugh gets back with him. They see it over the boundary line. And we will have a throw in right forward pocket for Colac.
He's been good too, son of Horn.
Going to be happy in the Kershaw household tonight. Leopold's boys around the grounds. Ammo's 89, Newcomb 10. There you go. It's not...
Shallow throw in Zybell. Well, he might get a free kick, I reckon. I reckon he was taken high in the ruck contest by Ferguson, and this is for a 25-point Colac lead. And Zybell a chance to kick his second, and he also would join Joffy Simpkin on 99 career goals.
Wasn't this the reverse in exactly the same spot in the first quarter? The free kick against him in the ruck. Zybell on Ferguson, who gave him a bit of lip. Yeah. So we'll see what happens here.
Zybell, 25 metres out, has missed to the right. Disappointing miss to make the margin. 29-5-59, 6-3-39. Colac leading Grovedale in the Battle of the Big Cats. And on the Port Phillip Ferry scoreboard, Port Phillip Ferries, no better way to travel to the footy. Check out portphillipferries.com.au, including for Geelong and Essendon tomorrow. We've gone about 25 minutes.
So Grovedale going to come towards McHugh. In front of the best seats in the house, thanks to Apco Cafe 24/7. Goes up off hands. Hawker runs away on the boundary line. Right foot kick towards the pocket, but it's all Grovedale back there. Quinn takes the mark. Wants to switch the play to Parrish, who'd run across. And can he get around McLaughlin? He just gets the kick away under pressure, but that was enough pressure to turn it over. And Inglis takes the mark at right half forward for the Tigers from the country, and he goes out wide. Simpkin takes the mark, wants to play on Joffy on the boundary line, 45 metres out, and goes.
No way!
Bang! Larry's Tavern goal, the day contender from Joffy Simpkin. And he's put it through for his second of the afternoon, and the 10th for Colac, 10-5-65. They lead Grovedale 6-3-39. Harvey Norman K-Rock's second quarter scoreboard.
100th of his GFL career for Joffy Simpkin, playing game number 71 this afternoon.
The cream rises to the top, Jace. I like the fact they're sticking with Jared McCormack in the ruck for the last, probably he's been there for 15 minutes now, so he's got the stamina, he's making a difference, and yeah, they're really good around the ball at the moment.
So the game turned on its head again. 5 consecutive goals to turn a 7-point deficit into a 26-point lead. Abbott in the middle trying to reverse the scenario. Quick kick forward by Billy Ford, and it's marked. Walker driving it long inside forward 50, needs a mark, fisted away from Ferguson. Chafer tracking it towards the boundary line. Can he keep it alive? He does. Handball back, only went as far as Lockie Simpkin. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Ball spills out in that tackle, and Colac trying to fight it out of defensive 50. They won't be able to, though. It's going to end up in the hands of Howe. Howe, a high floater that'll go across the face of goal, judging it best, taking a good mark, is the captain of the Tigers. The Colac Tigers, that is, in Melican, and he'll send it very wide to Bailey Scott. If he can hit the ground running, he might be away. In fact, Parrish played it well. Was able just to get in front of him to stop any advancement after he took the mark.
So Scott from right half back now, looking for some switch. He hasn't got much on there, so he's going to have to go down the line. Oh, that's a high kick.
Isn't it right?
That is in the car park. Like, seriously, that's halfway to Colac. He's kicked that.
Yep.
That is miles away out of bounds on the full, so that's not great for Colac, and maybe the blood nose has got to him at the moment. Campy's going to take the free kick for Grovedale. At centre wing on the outer side, or the grandstand side, he goes with the right foot back towards half forward. Big pack there. Oh, getting back. Good mark. That is a great mark from Melican for Colac at half back, and he chips the ball into the middle. Abbott gets up, gets his hands there. It's a 2-on-1. Grovedale, that was a throw nearly in the middle that came from Morant. Now ball at the back. McCormack gets away by hand to Inglis. Around the corner, Colac towards centre wing. Oh, great turn of speed by Murray, and he's away for Colac.
Oh, he feigned a handball once, and then he has a bounce on his left. He kicks. Wants centre half forward. Not a great kick. Howard at best, but then he tried to take on the tackle of Aaron Walters. Umpire Richards says no opportunity to get rid of it. I'll ball that up almost at the edge of the centre square.
So half a don't argue there, Kurt.
Well, he balked the first one. So
we got a dog on the field.
Oh, it's all happening.
Oh, it's not necessarily the pig at the SCG, but somebody's dog's been set loose. And country footy at its finest. He's wonderfully tackled by Harvey Morant. That'll be holding the ball against that dog.
Yep.
Morant will take him to the boundary line.
Yeah, but there's got to be someone with a lead, doesn't there?
Yeah, and that dog will go and spend the time. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Sin binned.
There is a dog on the field. Not necessarily a pig on the field, Sandy Roberts style, but dog will do. Ryan Abbott climbing high, winning the tap down after that stoppage. Deans, the roving G, got ridden into the turf there, and that'll be a free kick against Bailey Scott to Nathan Deans. And the Grovedale veteran says, let's just slow things down slightly. And now he'll kick and he'll set it up to a one-on-one. Who's he looking for? Chafer fisted away. Lockie Simpkin off the hands of the pack. Walker outside of the right boot. Bouncing ball. Attacked by Ferguson. Can he release a handball? Almost a throw out the side door. Mortar is there. Overran the footy, and that is half time. So we go to the main break, having seen an entertaining half of football here at Burdew Reserve, with Colac up to trailing by 7 points after 6 consecutive Grovedale goals either side of quarter time. They were 7 points in arrears, and then Dustin Walters has gone whack on this one with 3 consecutive goals and a goal apiece for Scott and Simpkin. We're going to go down boundary side, and looks like Josh Garner, the man of the moment, is with our own Jane Birch. Birchie, down to you and Josh.
Well, Josh, it's a bit of a seesawing.
Rebar.
The old cigar. Remember the cigar bar at the Rebar?
I do.
Upstairs when you could still have a cigar in a closed establishment.
Yep.
Different times now. Third quarter for Geelong Bank. Here's Jason.
Zybell goes up in the ruck for Colac by himself at the end because Abbott couldn't get there, and Shoot is wrapped up by Bailey Scott, not going anywhere.
That's okay.
Birchie's got some friends and family down there by the sounds of it, boundary line. Ball from the middle. Spokes. Ford was, we put Speedy Deans under pressure for Grovedale. Right next to him, he wasn't going anywhere, and he's wrapped up. Zybell tells him all about it as well as he gets up. That's the short and the tall of it. And it'll be another ruck contest in the middle. Zybell, Abbott gets it down. Parrish, he's wrapped up straight away, drops the footy in the tackle. The umpire says play on. Third ball up's going to occur, and Kingy's going to get us out of the middle.
Well, free kick might get us out of the middle too, Jace, when you've had that many. Umpire Jones might just see if he can clear the congestion. Back in the middle, Zybell winning the tap down. Monahan, good tackle by Deans, brings him to ground. Ball's not coming out, and we'll go again.
You were right, Jace. I was just chatting about possibly going and watching the All Abilities footy after this because I just can't get enough. So that was my
Well done.
that was my conversation. Sorry.
That's all right. Starts at 4 o'clock. Free entry, GMHBA Stadium. St Joseph's, Geelong West, Bell Park and Newcombe taking to the field in the first, we believe, All Abilities competition of this title. Umpire Jones has hit the deck from the ball up for AFL Barwon. Of course, we've had the Geelong Dragons playing in Melbourne, and now we've got the 4-team local competition and GMHBA Stadium playing host. So another stoppage. This ball's advanced outside the centre square for Grovedale, but
12 metres.
It's like watching the Storm and the Warriors.
umpire Jones has become very adept at tossing the ball into the air. Handball after winning the roving the ruck tap came from Billy Ford. Shoot's going to get a free kick for too high. I reckon Scott might have come. I reckon that was actually there, Kirsch. I had the binoculars on it.
He called it a sling into the ground.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was a sling. I think it was high, if anything.
Well, he called it a dangerous tackle.
Yeah, right. Didn't know if it was overly dangerous on Jack
I didn't
Chute.
think it was.
Either way, Bailey Scott's conceded a free kick. Jack Chute has got an important shot at goal. I know there's plenty of football left in this, but the margin is at 26, and you wouldn't want to be giving 2 5-goal head starts to Colac to reel in. Chute will kick from very close to the man on the mark from 40. It's a real floater. He's pulled it to the left. It's off hands and out of bounds, or through for behind for a minor score. So 6-4-40 now, Grovedale Colac. 10-5-65. The margin 25 in the early stages of this third quarter on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock. We've got about 3 minutes.
Spokes kicks it in, and the mark was dropped by Jared Walters, and then a free kick to Nathan Dean. So that is just calamity capers for Colac in the back.
I reckon he's hurt himself.
I think he has too.
Left hamstring, maybe?
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that for St John of God. Injury update this afternoon. Nathan Deans with the footy in hand.
It's going to be hard for him to kick this. He'll have to plant the left foot.
Somebody needs to run past here.
He's grabbing in that left hamstring. Surely a Dale Kerr's got to be swinging around. Or a left footer needs to. Where's Morant?
So Dean's 35 out.
This will test him.
It will, and he comes in. You saw he came up short too, but I don't know. He runs back like he's
Nothing wrong with him.
Okay, nothing wrong with him. He's kicked the goal. So
no, he's clutching at it.
His first of the afternoon, and a good start for the home side in the third term. 7-3-45. They trail Colac 10-5-65. Geelong Bank K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
I don't know whether it was a kick or the dropped mark, really. I mean, it looked like it was a difficult mark to take. It's just, like you said, calamity of errors, and that is one to watch on this game. Nathan Deans, with that, he's still clutching it. So whether it's just a bit of cramp, I'm sure he would know.
Missed a lot of footy, remember. It was mid sort of 2021 season, I should say, that he got hurt and didn't play at all last year. Tap down one by Abbott. Billy Ford trying to barge his way through with the footy, couldn't take it. Deans is there, Shoot on the up. Abbott heard the voice of Billy Ford. Kicks on his left towards left half forward. It'll bounce in front of Jeffrey. It's attacked by Spokes. He knocked it only into the path, though, of his opponent from Grovedale in Walker, who dived on the ball. Spokes dived on him. And right in front of our best seats in the house, thanks to the all-new Chimichanga Jaffel at Apco Cafe 24/7, we'll get a ball up. Abbott Zybell. Zybell winning the tap down. Billy Ford couldn't take it cleanly for Grovedale, but Shoot could. A handball on the up to Harms. Good tackle, Spokes. Ball locked in. And I reckon that actually should be holding the ball because the tackle's laid by Spokes. The ball spills out and Harms then reels it back in. Spokes lays the tackle again and umpire says give it to me, but we'll see it thrown into the air.
Abbott gets it down from the contest. Mortar. Cross half back for Colac. Randats wanted to get on his left. Torpedo punt towards centre wing. Coming out at speed was Dustin Walters. He can't pick it up. Deans was there. Walters had to put the tackle on in the end against Abbott. And still right in front of the best seats in the house thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7. Umpire Jones is going to throw the ball in the air again for Zybell and Abbott. Zybell gets it down to the side. Monahan, who left it behind. Abbott didn't. Got it away to Ford. Harms running through the middle. Right foot kick, top of the square. Over the back. Parkhouse can't take the mark. Ball in dispute. Free kick. Walters comes in. No, held to him. Jared Walters back there for Colac. Last line of defence, and we'll have a ball up.
Well, the crowd wanted it, that's for sure.
He's got up sore too for St John of God. Maybe, right hamstring's clutching at. Gee, they're going down like 9 pins at the moment. Out of the ruck contest, Ferguson there tried to fire a handball forward. On the up, the handball from Bailey Scott missed its intended target. They look to get out of trouble. Rennett on his left to half back, laying in a one-on-one. It's over the head of him and Kelly. Dustin Walters with the footy now. Snaps a kick over his left shoulder. A high floating ball that'll bounce in front of Garner. It does a big off break towards the boundary line. Campy's got Garner now, takes him out of bounds. And we'll get a boundary throw-in. Umpire says that's holding the ball.
Oh, he can't be though because he's out of bounds.
He didn't make really any effort though. I actually won't argue with that. Campy wants to come inboard to Deans, who marks at the edge of the centre square. Just back of the centre. He'll bring it towards his old mate Abbott, who marks right in front of our best seats in the house. But his progress is halted as Monahan stands the mark. Abbott sends it into the pocket. Walker in a 2-on-1 off the hands of the pack. Spokes for Colac. He'll just barrel it out. Should land on the chest of Monahan. In fact, he'll take it in the hands and has got it just back of the wing. Still in front of our best seats in the house for Abco Cafe 24/7, who are working overtime with the chimichanga jaffle like we are.
Haven't had to use the peepers for the last couple of minutes. The ball's been right in front of us here.
It's coming back too,
It's coming back because Cassidy Parrish takes the mark uncontested on centre wing. So unless he switches the play to the other side, it's coming straight back to where it came. Abbott's down here and he's going to drive it back towards him now. So it's just kick to kick. Zybell pushed off the ball and Abbott, no mark. He could have been paid. Parkhouse, handball forward. McCarthy wants to break free. Now Lang back to close quarters to Hawker. Now back to Lang. Works in the phone box. Gets the kick around the corner. Good kick. Open it up a bit. Monahan, handball to the corner. Scott to run away. Bailey takes one bounce. Runs to half forward. Right foot kick open. Goal square. And kicks the goal. Lammy's Tavern goal today. Contender from Bailey Scott. Put the afterburners on and went bang bang. His third of the afternoon, and the 11th for Colac, 11-5-71. They lead Grovedale 7-3, 45 Geelong Bag K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard.
How good is this kid?
Last week he's had 33. He's going okay again today.
He kicked 4-1 last week from the pill.
Kicked through today.
And he's kicked 3 from the pill today. And might I add, he had a fair chunk of that second quarter on the pine. So he is quality. And when they want to get the ball in his hand every time, that's what he can do.
Playing across that Port Arlington Mottawarri score. Mottawarri within 5 points.
Oh, no.
Just might want to go down to Jane Birch too. Injury update thanks to St John. I got Jared Walters. Birchie, I think, has come to the bench.
Yep, they're just having a look at his right hamstring.
Yeah, I think he's in a bit of trouble, Jared Walters.
Grabbed it straight away, didn't he?
Yeah.
Speedy Deans is right, though. He's kept going with that left hamstring.
It must have just been a
cramp
or a spasm. Back in the middle, Abbott winning the tap down. They need something. Grovedale, can they try and get the ascendancy back as they did in the second half of the first quarter, kicking to the clubhouse end? Ball into the air. Abbott and Zybell again. Zybell. That's going to be a free kick for a hold. It's advantage paid. Monahan will take it and drive Colac into attack. A long ball. Where's Garner? Campy placed best. Took the mark. The former Geelong Falcon marks it. Top of his defensive square. The outer side, or what is the outer side to us? The netball court side of the ground is his want to go. And Ferguson used the body nicely on Parkhouse. Took a good grab too. Solid individual is Ferguson in that marking situation. Kick towards right half forward. Chafer front position. Spoil Malikan. Kerr off the hands of Pack almost to throw back towards Chafer. Cooper Hayes, a handball. Scott out the side door. Heard a voice. Hewland bangs it on his left boot. A high ball to half forward. Campy the spoil. It's going to be a free kick for a hold. Going which way? It's going to go to Brady Campy in the marking contest. In fact, it's Kelly, I should say, in the marking contest with it.
So Kelly for Grovedale. Called to play on. Down the line. Oh, high kick. Bit of a tumbling punt there, and Zybell lined up with three mates to take the mark and put the hands up highest and took it. Just the back end of centre wing. Switches the play back to Lockie Simpkin. Staying to spread the ball around. Oh, he's turned the ball over though. Deans has read that better. It was a terrible kick into the middle now. Deans. Chafer, one hand if you don't mind. Play on and kick the behind.
He's goaled it.
He's goaled it. The goal umpire
gave us nothing.
The goal umpire was running towards the behinds. Chafer turned around, took the one hand mark and kept running. They just lazily kicked the goal.
I'm going to keep you guessing.
The goal umpire's like a mute.
Nonchalant. He was nonchalant.
Oh, so the 8th for Grovedale.
It's a great goal.
3rd for Mitch Chafer, 8-3-51. Margin back to 20, 11-5-71 Colac, Geelong Bank K-Rock, 3rd quarter scoreboard.
That is a skill of Mitch Chafer on full display.
100% it is. It was absolute skill. And
ball on a string.
It would have been a lot better commentated by us, Jace, if the umpire had given us something.
Give us something.
In the experts' chair, thanks to the Sporting Globe. Watch every Cats home and away game at the Sporting Globe, Geelong. Matt Kershaw with us this afternoon, as he is every GFL coverage. Tap down Abbott, and at pace, Chute hits it, and they'll go inside forward 50 again, although the kick off the outside of the right boot will ask Mortar to do some work. He's got Hewland tracking him, and Hewland soccers it off the ground, buys about 25 metres for his team. Good pick up McLaughlin, who goes back to Hewland. Hewland again tumbling a kick to half forward. Aaron Walters, good build up, chance for Dustin Walters with Hayes. Hayes now open goal square, bouncing ball, and he's drilled it. Oh, and he likes it too, Cooper Hayes. And I reckon that might be his first at GFL senior level, and that's why they've all got to the youngster from Geelong Ammos. They've come from everywhere, from Reynolds and Simpkin deep in defence to Hawker coming from the ground. They have all got to Cooper Hayes, who's wonderfully finished off, and he'll run back to defensive 50 full of smiles after kicking his first GFL senior goal and restoring a 25-point lead for his team on the K-Rock Geelong Bank 3rd quarter scoreboard. 12-5-77 leads 8-3-61. I should say that margin is 26 points.
Great reward for him because he's attacked the ball all day. He's been pretty impressive all day today, so that's a great reward for attacking football.
Back to the middle, Zybell get it down. Beautifully roved again by Chute, though, for Grovedale. Towards half forward Hayes, the last goal scorer. He can't take it. Will Ford can. Inside 50, it's a 2-on-2. Ferguson comes out, tries to trap it on his bootstraps. He can't do so. Ball spills free again. Handball. Oh, only as far in the end. Oh, the kick came around the corner. The actual ball came from Tobin Murray, and Grovedale had a chance.
Might have been Mortar.
Yeah, it was Mortar. Yeah, it was Mortar, and he kicked one behind. So 8-4-52 now, the home Tigers. And Colac 12-5-77 Geelong Bank K-Rock 3rd quarter scoreboard.
On a hand marks the kick in at left half back, goes short to Ben McCarthy. He's got it at left half back. Parrish stands the mark. He'll come laterally to his skipper, and Malikan has marked. Up to 89 games now, Malikan. He goes short, and Murray on a lead. Presents and marks at the back edge of the centre square in front of Chute. Turns and kicks quickly to a one-on-one. Simpkin from behind Joffe. Brought it to ground, but Harms did the roving. Gave it off to Billy Ford. Billy Ford pulls a kick to Kerr. It's well weighted onto his chest over the head of Reynolds. And now a kick inside forward 50 to the advantage of Chafer. Oh, wonderful kick, Kerr, but no mark taken. Chafer tight on the boundary line. Oh, somehow manufactured a goal. He was hemmed up against the behind post and was able to find some room and snap on his left and kick his 4th of the afternoon, and again pull the margin back to 19 points. He's a special talent, Mitch Chafer, and he's got his 4th to pull it back to a very manageable position at 19 points in this 3rd quarter. K-Rock Geelong Bank scoreboard. It is now Grovedale 9-4-58 trailing Colac 12-5-77.
Well, they got him out the back then because all of Colac defensive half had moved up the ground. When they kicked that ball to Simpkin, Garner and Inglis made no effort to compete in the air, and it was 1-on-3, and they just rebounded very easily, and they got caught out the back just with their ball movement there. Great goal, great finish, class footballer.
So back to the middle. Abbott gets it down. Falls past Parrish. Ben McCarthy runs onto it for Colac. Oh, scrubby kick towards half forward. Dustin Walters can't take it at the first attempt. He got some support. The handball shuffled out to Ben McCarthy. Feigned the handball, then gave it. Around the corner, Murray with the outside of the right boot. Fantastic kick, Tobin Murray. Stood there and got around a couple with the outside of the right foot, and that is a quick reply for Colac. His first of the afternoon, 13th. They go Colac 13-5-83. They lead Grovedale 9-4-58. Geelong Bank K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard.
It's funny, both teams look dangerous when they do go inside forward 50, but it always seems that Colac have got that one on the outside extra, so they're owning the outside and they've always got that release out there, and that was it there. It was Murray who worked really hard, sort of come up the ground into the square and then worked hard offensively and caught them out.
Nathan Deans has just had that left hamstring taped up down here, so he's got a fair bit of strapping on it, but he's ready to come back on, so he's obviously willing to roll the dice and give it another go.
Well, not cramp, and we saw Jack Mullen try and strap it up the other day on Anzac Day.
St John of God, we put you first back in the middle. Zybell won the tap down. Bailey Scott involved. Now a handball came from Lang and it finds Hewlin. Hewlin's kick on the bounce, tracked by McLaughlin. McLaughlin fired a handball back that wanted Cooper Hayes but missed him. This might open the door here. Turnover at half forward can be the one that hurts you the most, although Harms had a fit of the fumbles. Chance there for Des Kelly. Did okay. Handball back to Parrish. Grovedale in control of the footy here. Gave it to Billy Ford, who's been good in this third quarter. His kick is well weighted and back with the flight. Howe has taken the mark. He's just inside the centre square. Heard the voice of Boris. He went laterally to him on the broadcast wing. Boris under a bit of pressure. Kick inside 50. Chafer couldn't mark. Good spoil from behind Melican. Front of the packet was overrun by Parkhouse. Chance for Walker. That's a throw or holding the ball. Take your pick. Just couldn't make connection with the fist on the footy on the palm of his left hand. And Parkhouse laid a good tackle and won a free kick for Colac.
Tobin Murray and Ethan Boris, the Geelong Falcons teammates, playing on each other.
So back Gully Plant Farm.
Parkhouse goes laterally into the back pocket. Spokes takes the mark, goes to the outer side. Ben McCarthy gives him a lead. Great kick on his chest, takes the mark. At left half back. He chips the ball over the top. Coming up, McCormack. There's a massive chest to take a mark on, Jaron. He kicks the ball over the top, so they're just moving the ball through the middle again. Hayes gives the handball away by over the top. And
Here
they
he
go
is.
to Bailey Scott, who runs free again, forward to the footy, one bounce, 55 out, square, good kick. He kicked it to the advantage of Josh Garner and just put it over the back of his shoulder and just let him run onto it in the left forward pocket, and he took the mark. A much safer mark than he took the last quarter when he went high into the sky. And hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon, Josh Garner, but he has a chance from about 15 out, 45-degree angle. Kicks through it. Oh, made the goal umpire do a little bit of work, but he did put it through for his first of the afternoon.
Is that his first ever?
I think so.
Yeah.
And the 14th for Colac, 14-5-89. They lead Grovedale 9-4-58, Geelong Bank K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard.
Will Parkhouse decided he thought he'd start running from 30 metres, got to 60 and said, no, not for me. Not for me.
I've done enough.
So a bit too far.
It's now the biggest lead of the afternoon.
Yeah.
At 31 points.
Well, they've certainly got on top in all aspects of this game, particularly around the ball at the moment. Just clean up by hand, aren't they, in those stoppages? They're just getting into the outside, and like I said before, they're just owning the outside, and they've got so much run and carry. There are overlaps there, and they just get into their forward line too quick.
Lang spent a bit more time on the ball too.
And that's been a bit of a difference too, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like just that class around the pill.
Yeah.
Third quarter, K-Rock Geelong Bank scoreboard. A 31-point buffer now for Colac. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. Find out more at geelongbank.com.au or check out Jeringhap Street in Geelong and their branch. Tap down Abbott, back in the middle, surely a free kick for Billy Ford. Shoot's going to take the advantage and send Grovedale inside forward 50. Chafer front position, spoil behind Melican was good. Front of the pack trying to track it towards the boundary line was Tommy Stephen, and he won't be able to take it cleanly, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in right forward pocket. Cloud cover just rolling in, so just maybe taking a little bit of sting out of the sun. It's been a warm afternoon. Montawari now lead Port Arlington by 7. Port had actually stagnated at half time.
Come on, Port, lift.
Right forward pocket hurled back into play. Zybell front position sort of backhands it, but only inside. It's going to be a free kick, I reckon. Hawker might have been taken high there by Billy Ford, and it'll come back. Didn't get really good purchase on it, Zybell, from the ruck contest, but found Hawker, who was taken high.
Only little.
He's done a lot of him. He and Nathan Deans, both of similar stature.
Yeah.
Short kick marked by Ben McCarthy, just back of the centre wicket area. He goes short to Cooper Hayes, who is now called to play on, and he'll send Colac into attack. Kick's got a little bit too much on it for Dustin Walters. Judge best at the back. Might have been Baker taking the mark, or is it Howe? It's Howe. Howe concedes back to Luke Ford, and the Spirit of Anzac medalist has a casual little bounce. Stops. He's got nothing to kick to as he goes towards the outer side. Harms is his target in a one-on-one with Hawker. Ball at ground level. Will Jeffrey slung in the tackle. Fired a handball forward. And now a chance to go forward. Boris had his kick smothered, though. It's going to fall for Jeffrey. Hayes there as well for Colac. Jeffrey head over it, trying to barge his way through. Spokes coming the other way was good. Handball at close quarters. Might have been McLaughlin trying to fire it forward. Now taken by Jeffrey, who swings onto his right boot. Chafer in a one-on-one. Oh, good strong hands, takes the mark.
So Chafer, right half forward, chips the ball back to Deans. Short little kick. He's just inside 50. I want to keep an eye on the Queenscliff Anglesea game too, King. It's got a bandit on Play HQ, which doesn't sound good. Ford from 45 metres out. Will Ford has kicked the goal. The goal umpire's given us nothing again.
The old wobbler.
And the old tumbling punt has gone through, and he has kicked his first of the afternoon. And there's a pulse at Grovedale. 10-4-64. They trail Colac 14-5, 89. Geelong back K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
Jace, I'm not going to talk about the play. I want to talk about the goal umpire, and if we can just get a little bit of theatre from him, if someone can just give us a little bit of something to indicate whether it's going through or not. But yeah, it was a wobbler, but it was a good play, and there is a little bit of a pulse. They've started to get on top in the last 5 minutes just with ball in hand. They've maintained a bit of possession, and they're winning around the stoppages. So there's a little pulse.
Yeah, that's never good. Queenscliff 54, Anglesea 53. It's saying abandoned on Play HQ on the Leopold Sporties around the ground scoreboard. So Colac to go forward. Oh, Lang tried to take on the tackle of Chute. That's holding the ball. He stuck it well. And Jack Chute will get 50-metre penalty as well against Darcy Lang. So after the goal kicked for Grovedale by Jeffrey, now a chance for Chute to kick two in less than a minute and really set the count amongst the Pigeons and pull the margin back to 19. He goes short, and Deans is marked with that very heavily strapped left hamstring and thigh. Distance would be on. He's not the longest kick going around, Speedy, but he's going back with some certainty about this shot at goal. This will be a real boon as we approach three-quarter time. Give them some momentum here, Grovedale. Swings out to the right to get as much distance as he can. He's got good connection, and he's hit the post with some momentum about two-thirds of the weight up, and the margin is 24.
It's a good roost.
So on the third quarter, K-Rock Geelong Bank scoreboard, that scoreboard showing as Jace is covering it for me, 10-5-65 to 14-5-89. I should say the last goal was kicked by Will Ford, not Will Jeffrey. Got my wheels wrong.
Don't get your wheels wrong.
No, nothing worse than having your wheel challenged.
That's exactly right. Into half-back. Spokes takes the mark from McCormack. He goes back to Lockie Simpkins. So still inside defensive 50, Colac. Chip the ball. Parkhouse over his head. He has to run at it. The two headbands. Walker comes at him. Now, tackle comes, and it is getting up there. Ryan Abbott against, that is the short and the tall, but Aaron Hawker, he's about half his size. Through the middle now. Handball from Simpkin Joffe. Oh, was that a push? The umpire said no. Deans wrapped him up in the tackle.
Rode him.
Bailey Scott not going anywhere there. So another ball up just on the point of the centre square for Grovedale. Great tap down to Parrish from Abbott. The kick from Kelly was smothered. Parrish second effort was good. Got the handball to Deans. They got the kick away down the field. Darcy Lang again late on Deans. And the moth was right there. Saw it all. And it will be a free kick to Dale Kerr, who'll be shooting from 45 metres out, 45-degree angle. So a chance for Grovedale's 11th. And to bring the margin back to 18. He comes in, right foot kick, and the goal umpire gives us a little bit there because he did not move and just watched it go over the top of his head, and Dale Kerr has kicked his first of the afternoon. And Grovedale 11-5-71 bridge the gap. 14.589 Colac, Geelong Bank, K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home low, 1% less for 2 years. And here's Matt Kershaw on K-Rock football.
What they have done, Grovedale, is when they do have a little bit of a sniff and they go forward, they're actually finishing the goals that they should be kicking. So that's what's given them half a chance. But down the ground, was it there, was it not? Umpire said yes. Darcy Lang said no. What the umpire says counts. At the end of the day.
18 points the margin. Grovedale stay alive as we approach three-quarter time. Ball into the air. Abbott winning the tap down. Parrish the roving. Almost threw it back to Chu to off a step. Snaps a ball over his left shoulder. It was partially smothered. Hayes had to give a quick release handball, but he turned it over. Parrish, Walker, good tackle. Rennetts to bring him to ground and stop the advancement of the Grovedale youngster. Just forward to the outer wing. Down to Eugene Birch.
Jared Walters won't return for Colac due to that hamstring injury.
Awesome, John of God. Thank you, Birchie. Abbott winning the tap down. Monahan to clear outside of the right boot. It's going to land on the chest of Luke Ford, although it was touched off the boot. According to the umpire, he slung in the tackle on the centre wicket area and going nowhere. And we'll get a ball up. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock, about 25 minutes played in this third quarter of action. Ball into the air. Abbott, the tap down. Rolling ball. Tacked by, looked like Murray, but he couldn't pick it up. And then he had to lay a tackle because a Grovedale player had gotten his way. Who is at the bottom of that pack for the Tigers? It's Jack Chute. And just forward to the centre wicket area for the Grovedale. Will get a ball up. They'd love one more before the final change to get it back to with a couple of kicks.
Zybell gets it down. He does his own roving work as well. Oh, Parrish threw it out to Ford. Everybody knew it. So did Moth.
Yeah, the Moth had it.
The umpire found it. And it will be a free kick to Scott for Colac.
Just been told the game is still in progress.
Okay,
Points
there you
Cliff
go.
and Anglesey.
So somebody's pressed the wrong button. Ball comes free from Boris over the top. And they go inside with the kick. That was moored up towards half forward. Colac lining up there. And the ball across by hand towards Malikan under pressure. Just got the handball away. Back inboard. Scott, will it sit there though for him? Deans. And he played for the free kick and got it. Deans did well. Was in front and called to play on now. Thought about the handball. Running pass. He goes wide looking for Walker, who goes up off the side of the pack. No mark. Just Dale Kerr put the hands up. Couldn't grab it though. And out of bounds off hands, right half forward for a boundary throw in.
Not a worry by 13 now over Port Arlington.
From K-Rock's own Buzz Conway, three-quarter time, Newtown up by 3 points, kicked 6 straight.
Wow. Gee whiz. Changes everywhere.
Everywhere.
Ball back into play. Zybell, Abbott winning the tap down. Parrish reached high to grab the footy and then was able to jam a little 5-metre kick forward. Rolling ball, trying to trap it but not take it. Was Hort. That should be too high against Billy Ford. And the free kick will go to Cody Spokes at the bottom of the pack. Just inside defensive 50 Spokes. I'd love to hold this 3-goal lead. At the final change, short kick is okay to Simpkin. That's Joffe marking at the back edge of the centre square. Went to kick towards the netball court wing, instead goes short to Lang, who presents up on the centre wicket area and marks. To make sure of the kick and finds a marking option over the top, and it's taken there by Hayes. Hayes lowers the eyes and the kick is okay under the chest as Ibell. So like Australia 2 tacking into the breeze, they've advanced the ball to left half forward and the mark taken out wide. Might be Inglis with the footy. Called to play on, swings onto his right boot. No, wonderful mark and stretch coming from McLaughlin, who in the left forward pocket a chance maybe to have the final say in this third quarter of action at Purdue Reserve. Kicked one earlier, Will McLaughlin, a goal of class and a chance to kick his second, and again put Grovedale at arm's length. Man on the mark stands about 30 from goal. Distance won't be a problem. McLaughlin on the left has finished his job. Second goal of the afternoon for Will McLaughlin, playing just his 4th GFL senior game. He's kicked 2 goals this afternoon, the first 2 of his career, and he gives his team a 24-point buffer. They move to 15.595. Grovedale 11.571 on the third quarter. K-Rock, Geelong Bank scoreboard. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. Check out geelongbank.com.au.
I think we mentioned in the second quarter, Jace, about Will McLaughlin having an almost game, and he's got the potential to kick a couple of quarter. Well, that's just happened. He's been clean this quarter. His hands have been good, and his finishing's been good, and he's kicked the 2 that we spoke about that he could do in a quarter. So he's got himself right into this game of footy now.
So back to the middle. Abbott, Zybell, both get a hand to it. Deans against Zybel in the end. He ran away, got the little kick towards half forward, goes through a couple, kick around the corner for Grovedale. Oh, and then the kick up the chimney came from Bailey Scott for Colac. Harms for Grovedale to Jeffrey by hand. He goes a left foot kick towards Ferguson. Push past the footy, Nelly. Handball. They've got the numbers at the back spokes to help out. Gets through some traffic. His handball forward to the footy. Lockie Simpkin clearing kick. Oh, good mark by Rory Quinn, who takes it at centre wing. Comes back inboard. Finds Jeffrey for Grovedale.
Jeffrey needs to find a target inside forward 50. Ferguson positioning himself. Judged at best in the flight. Parkhouse worked from the back to the front, but actually misjudged the flight and overran the footy, and that made it an easy clutch for Brady Ferguson and a chance to go back and kick his third. And once again, pull the margin back to 18 points.
Well, you're right. Parkhouse had prime position to spoil, didn't he? And then he just worked his way to the front and a little bit too far.
Has been an entertaining quarter of footy. Ferguson, for his third, should make no mistake. 25 out directly in front. Oh, geez, poked at that. And in poking at it, he's pushed it to the right. Little lob wedge, and he's just spun it a little bit too much. Margin is 23. Ferguson now with 2-2 by my account. And the score now 11-6-72 Grovedale. Colac 15-5-95 on the third quarter. K-Rock Geelong scoreboard thanks to Geelong Bank.
So Reynolds plays on from full back. Goes to the outer side with the kick. Over the head of a couple. McLaughlin gets the handball away, sets a task for his teammate, who gets wrapped up straight away by two. Boris was there. It was Walker, I think, who had a couple to contend with for Colac. So Zybel comes across against Abbott. Abbott gets it down. Scott tried to get the handball out as the siren sounds for three-quarter time. And as Kingy said, an entertaining third term. Colac 15-5-95. They lead Grovedale 11-6-72.
So they haven't been able to eat into the deficit too much, Grovedale. Colac by 26 at the half. 5 goals apiece in that third quarter on the K-Rock Geelong Bank scoreboard. And the margin is still 23, but the game well and truly alive between the big cats of the GFL, Colac and Grovedale. We'll take a break here from Burdu Reserve, and when we come back, we'll go around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, all the 3 local leagues and AFL action this afternoon. Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue. It is Colac. They lead by 23 on the Geelong Bank third quarter scoreboard. And it's Grovedale looking to snap a run of outs, stretching back to 2016 against the men from Colac. Can they do it? We'll find out after the break. Thanks to Epco Cafe 24/7 and the all-new Chimichanga Jaffle. Live, breathe, K-Rock footy.
wardrobe change. And did you notice that we missed an injury earlier? So Jack Baker.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I haven't called him for a while, yeah.
I spotted someone in the dugout with tracksuit pants on, so it caught me out a little bit because I thought, oh, that's good. A reserves player's come to get some, medical treatment, get some ice on their shoulder.
Yeah.
And then realised when I had another look that it was actually Jack Baker and we hadn't called him for a while. So apparently a little bit of a pre-existing injury and a bit of a stinger there. It's sort of more on the collarbone that he's got ice. So hopefully that's nothing too serious for him.
All right, for St John of God, our injury updates, we put you first. Thank you, Birchie, all over that down boundary side. And, of course, Jared Walters out of the contest for Colac with a hamstring issue. I reckon Nathan Dean's hamstring, he'll play through this, but it'll be interesting to see how serious it is. He has got it very, very heavily strapped. Final quarter for Harvey Norman. It's a 23-point Colac lead. Can they extend their winning run over Grovedale to 10? We'll find out in the next half an hour. Here's Jason.
Yes, Ryan Abbott gets it down forward, couldn't take it in the middle for Grovedale, but McCarthy can for Colac, goes inside 50. Tracking it there was Lang. Kelly against Tim, rides the bump and gets it away by hand to Luke Ford. Kick around the corner, close to the boundary line. And the umpire says, throw it in. Colac players looking for deliberate.
I've sold them short, actually. It's 8 consecutive wins.
8. So
Cassidy Parrish starting forward is an interesting one. He started at every stoppage so far.
So boundary throw in. Zybell got... Shoot got in the way there of the ruck contest. It falls towards Abbott, who threw the ball out to Deans by hand. He gets the tumbling punt towards centre wing for Grovedale. Free kick for a hold, is it, somewhere? Moth is miles away and gives the free kick. And does. There's a little bit drive-by from the coach at three-quarter time about the holding the mans too, I think. If you like those ones.
He didn't miss.
He didn't miss. So Sam Walker has got the free kick for Grovedale on centre wing. He chips the ball over the top. Shoot takes the mark right on the boundary line. Still at left half forward. Plays on. Inside 50 with a kick. Looking for Ferguson. Can't take the mark off the back of the pack. Simpkin wrapped up. Oh, got a kick away from mid-air in the end. But outside, Schaefer will want to get back on the right. He gets around the corner. Not much to kick to. And through for one behind in the end to Mitch. 4 goals to his personal tally, and they go to 11-7-73 now. Grovedale. Colac 15-5-95. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Got to make the most of all their opportunities. Grovedale, as Colac have advanced the ball to the centre wicket area to McCormack, and the former Lara Cat kick inside 50 went over the head of Joffrey Simpkin and Luke Ford as marked. Handball off. Shoot has a bounce, confronted by McCarthy. Handball to Deans. Deans at the point of the square. Right half back, kicks towards right half forward. Well-weighted ball onto the chest of Scotty Mortar for Grovedale. Mortar, and that'll be 50. 50-metre penalty, and I reckon it's against Dustin Walters, and that will open the door for Mortar to have a shot at goal and bring this margin back to 16 points. Was it there, Kirsch?
Nah, he's stiff because Mortar's the one who kept creeping to the boundary line, and he probably come about 5 metres off his own mark. The guy on the mark was just sort of going with him. So I know you've got to stand, but...
You've got to call play on quicker.
You do, yeah, 100%. You've got to call play on quicker. Like, he's just doing what he's supposed to be doing. So that's a little bit too harsh, I feel.
Mortar looking for his second of the afternoon. Spent last year at North Warrnambool in the Hampton League. 13 games for 27 goals with the Eagles of the Hampton League. Mortar, gets a helicopter off the boot and he's missed. So back-to-back opportunities not taken by Grovedale. Mortar now with 1 goal, 2 for the afternoon. And the margin is 21. 11-8-74. Grovedale 15-5-95. As we've gone about 3 minutes in this final term on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel to the footy.
Last kick in was real aggressive in the corridor. Let's see if they go the same way.
So, Spokes with the kicking in duties for Colac comes towards the lead of Hawker, who goes up in front of Abbott, would you believe, and takes the mark. 5-2 versus 6-10, and a kick towards the centre. Mortar will get it for Grovedale. He chips it back to Abbott. This time he takes the mark, or thought about the handball, feigned it. Oh, the kick, he probably should have handballed it because he kicked it into Parkhouse, who gets wrapped up, hold, and back into the centre square. Will Parkhouse will take the free kick for Colac.
Fair spoil by Chute before. You could hear the thud in Dean Gray's effects mics of the ball on fist. In the middle, Monaghan's mark, ducked under the would-be tackler. Bouncing ball, Lang couldn't take it. Luke Ford was clean. Handball released to Boris. Boris a kick to the wing. Bouncing ball, first onto it will be Howe. He'll run into, got a little tap to the belly from Melican in the tackle, and that just took his momentum, and then Hawker wrapped him up. Nothing untoward from Melican. It was just that sort of went to take the tackle. You could hear the slap on the abdomen of Howe and Hawker, who may be the smallest man on the ground, with a high kick inside forward 50. McCormack went straight through his hands. Simpkin fisted it forward. Bouncing ball. Trouble for Quinn. Dustin Walters there. Tackle laid. Was that McCormack getting back to lay the tackle? You're right. His work rate is good. And he lays a good tackle on Shoot. 15, maybe 10 metres out at the top of the square. Colac in attack, looking to put this one to bed.
So McCormack in the ruck contest got it to the side of the pack. And pack develops, the ball spills out of bounds in the right forward pocket for Colac. We're going to have a boundary throw in.
I don't think J-Mac was expecting no contact for that mark inside forward 50.
Yeah, that's right. He sort of waited for it, didn't he? It didn't come.
No.
Is that where you can brace yourself too much?
Yeah.
I think so,
Yep.
yeah.
Throw in, Abbott gets it to the side and then gets wrapped up. He picked it up again and he's not going anywhere. The umpire will come in and ball it up. Still 20 out from the Colac goal. They lead 15-5-95. Grovedale 11-8-74. Ball up. McCormack gets it to the back. Kick over the shoulder. Simpkin. Joffy. And has it got through? No. Just to the right-hand side and through for one behind. So they go 15-6-96 now. Colac lead Grovedale 11-8-74. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, final quarter scoreboard.
So, short kick in, marked by Billy Ford.
Been good all day.
Yeah, 25 metres from his defensive goal. Wants to go towards the outer wing. Chafer stretches, couldn't mark. Melican was able to pick up the loose footy, bounced off a would-be tackler, and then kicks inside forward 50. McCormack, well done Campy, got across in front and took a strong mark. McCormack had the sit from behind, but Campy stood tall in front and was able to hang on to a nice mark in the left back pocket. He handballs it off to Luke Ford, cruising past. A handball over the top. McHugh, right back pocket towards our best seats in the house. Boris, he won't get a run at it, but at the back of the pack, Will Jeffrey. Harms tried to fire a handball out, but it was well done by Zybell to Dustin Walters for Colac. Kick inside 50, fisted away by Aaron Walters. Will open the door for Joffy Skimkin. Handball on the bounce. Luke Garner maybe to put this one to bed, and he kicks his second. Make it Josh Garner, I should say. He's got two. And the margin now is 28 points. And you would think that's a bridge too far. 16-6, 102 Colac. Final quarter, K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard. Grovedale 11-8-74. And in the experts chair for the Sporting Globe, Matt Kershaw.
Well, repeat entries, it was sort of like the damn wall's going to break eventually. But I'll tell you who was really good in that sort of scrimmage was Joffy Simpkin. He's the one who he went to ground, but he still controlled his body going to ground. He didn't dive on it. He didn't do anything erratic. He sort of had some control. Everyone went past him and he just turned back into play, gave the handball off. So it was terrific play.
Back to the middle. Abbott. And Zybell goes up early. Abbott takes it out of the ruck contest and gets a quick kick towards centre half forward. A couple of players run past the footy. McCarthy doesn't. Gets the handball out. Kick off the ground. Comes towards Chafer, who gets on the right foot and high kick towards the top of the square. It's good for distance. Zybell gets back. Hamlet Hanger contender. He ran back with a fly to the football, stuck the hands out and took a great mark in front of Ferguson and plays on from deep inside his defensive zone and goes wide to Lockie Simpkin. So he takes the mark in between the back pocket and half back. He chips the ball to Parkhouse through the middle again. Zybell, who followed up. Pretty good work rate too from the big fella. He goes into the middle and Scott takes the mark and runs away from Parrish, and he goes with the ball in hand. One bounce, got stopped, so then he goes laterally to Hayes and he'll take the mark. 45 out from goal.
Hayes with the footy. Luke Ford standing the mark. Hayes runs to about 47, wants to go to the pocket. McCormack is his target, or Garner. In fact, it's Josh Garner. It's over his head and out of bounds. I tell you what, the Steamatic standout and the Leopold Sporties player of the day will not be easy selections this afternoon.
It's been even spread on both teams. That's the thing. I know Colac are winning, but it's been an even spread on both teams.
So good luck to Birchie and Jace with their selections this afternoon. No medals on the line, unlike last weekend from the boundary throw. Talking about medals, there's Luke Ford. He's got more of them than you can poke a stick at in recent times with cricket and footy. And from the ball up, it's into the waiting arms of Jaron McCormack, who's wrapped up by Abbott, going nowhere. And we'll get a ball up about 30 out from the Colac goal, attacking the Colac end of the ground. Taken by McHugh, lost it in the tackle. Handball, Will Ford just to the voice. Morant couldn't take it cleanly. Darcy Lang did, but he got dumped by Des Kelly in a really good tackle in the right forward pocket. at the club room's end of the ground. And we've gone about 9 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel to the footy. Check out portphillipferries.com.au.
Abbott got it down. Ball though to McCarthy. Off a step. High kick. Cross the face of goal. And through for one behind for Colac. So they got a 16-7-103. Lead Grovedale 11-8-74. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard. I think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Cryo and Warren Ponds. Now forward Luke kicks it in for Grovedale. Out wide. Looking for Abbott. Tapped it on. Kicked back though by Lockie Simpkin. Inside 50. McCormack, who's been good all day, takes the mark in front and will shoot for goal. He hasn't troubled the scorers yet this afternoon, but he'll be kicking from 35 out 45-degree angle.
He has been good all day, Jace, because he's been doing that that ruck roll as well. Him and Zybel waxing, and it's worked really well for him.
Brisbane 17-13-115 have defeated Fremantle 10-7-67. Sydney 99 lead GWS 81. 5 minutes gone, final quarter at the SCG.
Cormac comes in, right foot kick, and that is a great kick from the big fella. He's first of the afternoon and the 17th for Colac. 17-7-109. They lead Grovedale 11-8-74. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Sort of almost like the run from Grovedale has gone. They gave a good fight at the start of this quarter, but it's almost like the white flag is up. Kerr can't run. Speedy's hampered, so
Baker's injured.
It's almost like we'll just see the game out now, but see how they go at this stoppage.
Margin 35, it's a game-high lead for Colac. Abbott won the tap down to his good mate Deans, but Deans is wrapped up by Ben McCarthy in a good little Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup. 201 Townsend Road in Moolap. See the team at Wombat Gully for all your gardening needs. Umpire Jones says, I'll throw it into the air one more time. Zybel, Abbott this time again winning the tap. And it's going to be a free kick, maybe taken high. Deans, that's not too hard to do as he gives a handball off. Boris coming off half-back, a floater inside forward 50, but Harms coming up, couldn't complete the mark. Just a little bit hard to clutch. Spoke, so handball release back. Wanted to get back to Lockie Simpkin. He wasn't going to get his hands on it. Chafer went to go on the outside of the left boot, couldn't get enough outside, got more inside, and has missed to the right through for a minor score. 4-3 for Mitch Chafer this afternoon. The margin is 34 on the K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard. 109 playing 75 as we've gone on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock around 11 minutes.
So Cooper Hayes with the kicking in duties this time for Colac. Goes to the outer side. Chopped off though by Abbott. A big fella back in board. Good kick. Finds Dale Kerr. And he will shoot for goal from 35 out directly in front.
Not sure if rules have changed since I was playing junior football, Jace, but it was always one of those ones when you're kicking in, don't kick it to the ruckman.
Normally.
Kick it away from the big fella.
Especially a dominant ruckman. So Kerr comes in, kicks the goal. So his second of the afternoon. And the 12th for the home side, 12-9-81. And they trail Colac 17-17-109. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard in the experts chair. Thanks to the Sporting Globe. Watch every Cats home and away game at the Sporting Globe Geelong. Here's Matt Kershaw.
Well, the limp certainly went from Kerr when he was a chance to kick a goal, and that's what he did.
Always happens, isn't it?
The limp went and he got himself. Just going back just prior to that one though, Mitch Chafer, he doesn't need much opportunity, does he? He only needs half a metre to get a shot on. He was around that marking target there where Kerr was as well, so he hasn't given up, that's for sure.
77-56 Bell Park now in control against Lara. West 56 and Albans 14. Last score we received. St Mary's 93 leading Leopold 62 I should say now. They've fought back a little bit. Leopold kick inside 50 for Colac. Campy came up, couldn't complete the mark. Forward was surely taken high by Aaron Walters, who hasn't had much of an afternoon, Aaron Walters, to be fair. Kick from Luke Ford to Parrish. Parrish going wide. Hawker against Stephen, and Tommy Stevens had a quiet one too. I'm fair to say. Kirsch haven't caught
him at all.
So that Western St Albans score is stuck, and so is the Newtown South Barwon one. We know South Barwon, after leading early, now trail against the Eagles at Elderslie Reserve. Final quarter action here. We've gone about 14 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Here's Jason Doherty.
Abbott gets it down. Langno does the roving and gets it on. McLaughlin to run from 55 with a left foot kick, but getting back there, Luke Ford reading it the better. Handballs it away, wants to shuffle it and run. That was the call from Daniel Fraser at three-quarter time. McCormack comes over. That's a great mark in the middle by Howe for Grovedale. Inside defensive 50 against a couple, including McCormack. And he thought about laterally. He's just going to go short. It'll want to be good because McCormack comes around with a big thump away back towards centre half forward. Dean's over the top of it. He's hatched it under there. Got to be careful. He picks it up then and wrapped up, not going anywhere. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. Still 55 out from the Colac goal. So Abbott comes down, do the ruck work against Zybell, who follows him and gets it down. Shoot. Thought about the kick over the shoulder, gave the handball away in the end to Jeffrey. His handball to Boris through the middle. No, don't take that on. Cody Spokes, a bit bigger than you, brother. And he puts the tackle on, and that is dropping the football. And Cody Spokes.
Probably should have been actually a free kick for the high fend off because Boris actually got the sort of forearm into the Adam's apple of Cody Spokes.
So Spokes will drive it forward now. Right foot kick towards half forward. McCormack goes up off the back of the pack. Inglis to run onto it. Right foot kick over the top of a couple and just shaves the right-hand goalpost free behind. So his first score of the afternoon. 17-8-1-10 now, Colac. They lead Grovedale 12-9-81. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Dangerous kick in, but Deans was able to hold his nerve and take the mark. Bringing it broadcast side. He wants to get it to Billy Ford, but he mishit the kick, and Inglis has got across and marked on his chest at left half forward. He'll send a kick inside forward, 50. Dustin Walters, Aaron Walters, take your pick. It's Aaron, who is marked and told by Darcy Lang, settle it down. We're in no hurry as we hold a 29-point buffer at around the 16-minute mark of this final term. Speedy Dean shakes his head at his inability to affect the kick to his desire as he stands the mark. Walters will kick with the man on the mark about 40 from goal. Hasn't scored yet this afternoon. 2 goals this season. He starts at left, tries to work it back to the right, but isn't able to. And it's through for a minor score. And the margin is 30. K-Rock, Harvey Norman, final quarter scoreboard, 17-9-111. Colac, 12-9-81 Grovedale. Final term action here at Purdue Reserve on K-Rock football.
Oh, Quinn's kick in. Didn't hit the target, which was Stephen. He put a good tackle on, though, and got Luke Ford in support. So Grovedale get it out towards half back. Harms can't keep it in off his hands, and it will be a boundary throw-in. So Zybell and Abbott, who they've done most of the work in this last term, and in the third quarter as well, ruck contest. Boundary throw in now. Grandstand side.
Buddy's back. He's kicked 3.
Nice. They're going to win the Swans, I think. And ball from the contest. Zybell tried to get it now. The ball to the side. Comes back to Zybell from Murray. Oh, does a little bit of a dance. Right foot kick towards half forward. Oh, going up Josh Garner. But a free kick for a hold somewhere. Luke Ford is going to take the free kick. And Grovedale to clear and go towards middle. That's a dangerous kick over the back. Hawker and Hayes. Hayes is there, gets away from Harms, gets the kick back towards centre half forward. McHugh couldn't take the mark. Oh, Lang, great pick up to Monaghan off a step, 55 out, top of the square. 2-on-2. Campy comes across, third up, does well and slaps it out of bounds for a throw in the right forward pocket for Colac.
That good was Lang's pickup.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Little scoop.
Pretty neat.
Yep.
Yeah, just a different class to some of those out there. And not too far removed from a 70-odd game AFL career. Boundary throw-in. Fisted forward Abbott twice, but only into the path of Simpkin, who is then wrapped up by Deans and Walker. And about 35 out from the Colac goal, attacking the club room or social club end here at Grovedale. We'll get a ball up. McCormack, Abbott on the tap down. Luke Ford with a high clearing kick to centre half back. Harms front position. That's spoiled away by Hayes at ground level. A fresh area from Morant, and that's opened the door for Monaghan and Colac. He goes laterally with the kick and finds McLaughlin, or is it Murray? It's Murray out there with the footy. And the number 4 of Kane Smart drives a long ball into the right forward pocket. Garner sets himself. Good fist came from McHugh to knock it out of bounds. And we'll get a boundary throw in right forward pocket again in front of a good crowd here on a Saturday afternoon at Purdue Reserve, where the 4 points, it looks like, are going to go the way of the Colac Tigers. They lead by 30. 1-11 playing 81, and we've gone 18 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Boundary throw in. McCormack from behind. Rove through the middle. Was that holding the ball? It was holding the ball. And say Bailey Scott running straight through the middle. He got wrapped up. The ball goes out wide, and Tommy Stephen, he couldn't trap it. And it's off his hands and out of bounds for another throw in front of the grandstand here at Boodoo.
Giants back to within 12 points at the SCG for Leopold
Close
Sporters.
one. There you go. We'll keep an eye on that as we move through the final term. So Zybell and Abbott at forward 50 for Colac. Zybell with a tap over the back. Scott gets wrapped up by Dean straight away. And can't get an effective possession. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. Big pack around as we throw the ball in the air. Abbott goes up, gets it to Deans. Tries to break 2 tackles. Took them on. Ball spilt free. Simpkin Joffe gets it out. And Quinn, his handball was pretty hot there. Parrish comes across to help out. He's on hands and knees as well. Now Joffe from the boundary line. Kicked one hit from there before. Oh, Mark, no, not taken. Turn around. Dustin Walters misses. And Dustin Walters thought he'd kick the goal, but the goal umpire said he didn't. And he has missed. 3 goals, 1. His tally. 17-10. 1-12 now, Colac.
He was very confident he kicked that, wasn't
Very
he?
confident.
12-9-81, Grovedale, Harvey Norman, K-Rock, final quarter scoreboard.
Short kick in from Campy, marked by McHugh. In front of the cricket nets, he'll go back to his defensive goal square to Campy, and they're struggling to find a way out in this final term. Grovedale have been hemmed in by the Tigers of Colac. Kicked a half back, wanted Abbott. Zybell got across in front, brought the ball to ground level. Lang on hands and knees up to Hawker. Bailey Scott from 40 metres pulls the trigger on the kick. Oh, the old volleyball, yeah, backward spoil from Quinn worked out okay as another teammate helped it through for a rush behind and makes the margin 32. So 17-11, 113, playing 12-9, 81 in this final term on the K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices as Quinn unlaunches a torp.
He does, into the middle of Boodoo. That's a great kick. Zach Tui style through the middle, spokes for Colac. Back to it's a game. And Josh Garner, because everybody was going, that's an amazing kick. Nobody was actually picking anybody up in the back line for Grovedale. And Josh Garner just let out. He was miles in front of anybody else and took the mark and will shoot for goal from 48 directly in front.
I think they were all just watching the torpedo as well.
They were in awe. Yeah. And the ball came straight back in. So Josh Garner, who's kicked 2, 3 would be a nice little return for his first game this afternoon. And he has been mozzed by me because he's missed us the near side and through. 2 goals, 1. His tally, 17-12, 1-14 now, Colac. Grovedale, 12-9-81, Harvey Norman, K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard.
Coming with a conventional drop punt, looking for Morant, front of the pack, Jeffrey, a handball release over the top. Chute can run, he'll get a block from Chafer, have a bounce and now kick towards the right forward pocket. Not much doing though, inside forward 50, asking a lot of Ferguson. He'll lead the race to the footy, but Parkhouse will wrap him up and take him over the boundary line. No, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. No. Now it's holding the ball as he got the handball away. So the whistle did go and Parkhouse has won himself a free kick in the left back pocket for Colac. Keeps it. Our broadcast side will flirt with the boundary line, looking for McLaughlin. Spoil from behind Boris. Chafer, beautiful bit of roving, ran himself in and out of trouble. Handball release. Jeffrey went with the one hand, couldn't take it. Kerr did okay. Took the ball, gave a handball release. Jeffrey, Chafer, handball, shoot. Tight in the right forward pocket. Tough angle. Not a bad effort. Jack Shoot has kicked a wonderful goal. A Lemmy's Tavern goal of the afternoon contender. Tight on the angle in the right forward pocket at the Torquay Road end, and he's been able to put it through for his first of the afternoon, Jack Chute, and the margin back to 27 points. It might be all said and done, but that's a wonderful finish as they move to 13-9-87. They trail 17-12, 1-14. Colac leading Grovedale.
Well, they looked like witches' hats there for a moment, Jason.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they got a little bit of burst of energy and, yeah, got him on the outside. He's been limping all day, Kerr. He's finally coming off the ground. So, yeah, they got it forward, and that was a miraculous goal. It was very similar to Joffe Simpkins on the other side of the ground.
So Zybell and Abbott ruck contest in the middle again. Oh, Abbott with a big thump down, Parrish. And Bailey Scott playing for a free kick, didn't come. Blang off the half-back flank, got a trip, should get a free kick. Will it be advantage? No, it's coming back. And Darcy Lang gets up a little bit ginger as well as he got legged. I think he got legged both right and left leg. So he goes with the right foot kick out wide. That's a great kick. and they can drive it forward to a 2-on-2 camp. He kept his feet at the back for Grovedale. His handball was terrible,
shocking.
straight at the arms of Jared McCormack, who turned around and said, "Thank you very much, I've put a bow on that for you." And that is Jared McCormack's second. Quick reply for the visitors, and they go to 18-12-120. They lead Grovedale 13-9-87. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Just an absolute error.
Terrible
error. I don't know whether he just didn't see him or thought that Jaron deserved another one for the game he's played today.
I don't think Jared McCormack could hide too often. He's a pretty big bloke.
He's a big unit.
Yeah, he's a big unit.
He more or less called him into the play then and said, "Here, I'll give you one." Just a mistake. It happens.
Yep.
We're all human.
Yep.
Back in the middle is Zybell and Abbott. Abbott climbed high, won the tap down. Shoot, tracking the footy towards the broadcast, the outer side wing, I should say. He's slung in the tackle. He's kicked towards centre half forward, went towards Harms, who down low couldn't complete the mark. Able to trap the footy, gave a handball on the up to Jeffrey. Jeffrey was able to share it over the top to Mortar. Mortar a handball on the bounce. Walker trying to attack it. Couldn't take it cleanly. They'll clean up the Colac defence, but that kick is going to flirt with the boundary line. Lang will try and mark. Can't. Harms took it. Then swung a kick inside forward 50 for Grovedale. Back with the flight. Lockie Simpkin, judging it best, has taken the mark. Left back pocket, Torquay rode into the ground. He went to look across the face of goal. Now he'll come up the corridor, and it's a very enterprising kick. Monaghan took it on the bounce, held the handball back, then was dumped as he kicked, got it away just in time. Bouncing ball sits and pitches for McCarthy, who then gets a handball into space. Scott will have too much pace. One bounce, runs to 40, steadies, and should put a goal through. No. Misses to the left. Bailey Scott nearly had one in each quarter. Margin is now 34 to the good of Colac on the Harvey Norman K-Rock scoreboard, and we've gone on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock 25 minutes.
So Ford gets it to Ford. It's like a lawyer. Ford and Ford go over the top. They go through the middle, Grovedale, so they've moved the ball pretty quickly. Just play on at all costs now. Mortar, short kick to half forward is okay. And Jeffrey takes the mark. Inside 50 over the top. Harms had made some space over the back of Lockie Simpkin. He's taken the mark and will shoot for goal from 30 out slide angle.
Can I just say there was 3 points into that Newtown and South Barwon, and there's a shot on the siren.
Oh. So who's got the shot?
South Barwon.
To win the game.
I'm watching the video now.
Right, very good.
And it just falls short. Newtown win.
By 3 points?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Oh, gee whiz. So, Harms now. Daniel Harms. Phrase said to us before the game, the under-18 captain here at Grovedale has missed it to the near side, so 3 for 1 behind, just leant back on that. 13-10-88 now Grovedale. They trail Colac. So 18-13-121. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Can't be long left. We've gone about 27 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Colac short kick in marked by Malikan. He goes short to Parkhouse. He gives a handball to Spokes. Spokes pulls a poor kick onto the chest of Des Kelly, who marks last year's reserves best and fairest for Grovedale. Sends a kick towards forward 50. It's a wonderful ball. He's pulled it onto the chest of Mortar. It was a really smart kick. In fact, it might be Boris that's marked. No, I was right the first time. It is Scotty Mortar. Got those very closely cropped hair, both of them, Mortar and Boris. And it was actually a really smart kick to his advantage from Des Kelly. This to make the margin again, 27 points. Mortar from about 40, long ball, and it's just off to the right, through for a minor score. He's now got 1 goal, 3 by my count.
Yep.
Scotty Mortar, and the margin is 32. K-Rock, final quarter, Harvey Norman scoreboard, furniture, electrical, bedding, computers, Cryo and Warren Ponds, 121, playing 89.
A short little kick into Lockie Simpkin. Goes towards McCormack with a floater over the head of he and Abbott. Needs to run onto it. Chute gets across there as well. Handball only on the up to Ben McCarthy. Oh, his kick out wide. Does Dustin Walters keep it in? Oh, he does. It was out of bounds on the full, but anyway, let's keep going. Ball comes in to Monaghan, or met by Deans. Ball spills free. Oh, gee, that's high. Umpire said play on. Now Inglis, bit of Magic work there. Now the ball to the middle from Jeffrey. Gets it over the top. Chopped off, though. Colac with the numbers on the outboard. Scott, watch out. He's running free again. This time he kicks it, and it's a great kick, too, to Simpkin. Joffy has taken the mark, and he's still 50 out from goal. Comes in. Board. It's okay. The sliding mark's taken by Cooper Hayes, and he'll shoot the goal from 40 out. 45-degree angle.
Going for number 2 from the half-back flank, Jace. Not a bad effort.
Do we know who had the shot for South Barwon?
Cunningham.
So he must have been late in, because I reckon he was dropped.
He was emergency, he was, yeah. So Cooper Hayes, who's kicked 1 this afternoon. Close to siren time here at Boodoo Reserve.
Bell Park 89, Lara 68, St Mary's 106, Leopold 77 among the updated scores. Still got West at 56 and Albans at 14, and a 3-point win for Newtown over South Barwon.
Hayes misses it to the far side. 1 goal, 1 his tally. So 18-14, 122 now, Colac. And they lead Grovedale 13-11-89. Harvey Norman K-Rock, final quarter scoreboard.
Kicked 3-9 in this last quarter, Colac. Yep. Short kick in.
Could have blown right out.
Howe can send it towards the social club side of the ground. It's a well-weighted kick, and Quinn had to stand and wait as Simpkin bared down on him. He marked, came back in, went over the head of Howe. He thought somebody else was there. Hawker, handball release. Simpkin from 45 to an open goal square, and that's out in the full. They could have actually really buried them if they'd kicked straight.
Yeah, absolutely, it could have.
But he's missed to the right and through for a minor score.
3-9, 1 on the full.
Short kick, Campy takes the mark, plays on over the top. Just going around the boundary line. Attacking Australia 2 style. Short to Teens. Oh, gee whiz. He must sleep well on a Saturday night, Speedy, I'll tell you. Siren.
He gives his all, doesn't he?
There it is, he does. But unfortunately for him and Grovedale, not enough this afternoon. Colac 18-14, 122 have defeated Grovedale 13-11-89.
So in a seesawing game, a game at one stage that Grovedale led by 7 points in the second quarter after going on a 6-goal tear either side of quarter time. Since that point onwards, it really has been Colac's game, and the margin has hovered between that 4 and 6 goal mark for much of the second half of play since they led by 26 points at half time. The closest they got in the end was 19 points in the third quarter, 18 points I should say in the third quarter, Grovedale, and from that point on it really has been arm's length that Colac kept Grovedale this afternoon. The Tigers of Colac, they stay unbeaten. Grovedale to 1-2, and a mouth-watering matchup looms next week at Central Reserve in Colac as the Tigers take on St Mary's, who will go into the clash with a bit of momentum after consecutive wins, including this afternoon over Leopold. Colac then have South Barwon and Bell Park also at Central, and then Lara at Bisanella Oval. So right now, Colac well positioned with 3 consecutive home games to come at home. Grovedale, well, they've got Geelong West here at Boodoo before travelling out to St Albans, Leopold at Leopold, and North Shore back here. There are some wins in the future for Grovedale, but they would love to have been 2-1. They aren't, and they will enter next week against the Giants at 1-2. Players shaking hands. And Jane Birch is in amongst the throng. We'll get down to Birchie in a moment for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre to have a chat with one of the victorious Tigers. 5th quarter underway, thanks to our good friends at the Sandman Mattress Factory. Sleep better with the Sandman's locally made 2-sided mattresses. They are made to outlast any other. Jane Birch, I reckon you might have Lockie Simpkin standing beside you. Down to you.